Chapter 1072. After being stunned for 2 or 3 breaths, the Jiang Wang clan regained her senses. She lowered her head and ate the entire bun. Then, she drank a mouthful of the wild vegetable soup that came along with it. A smile appeared on her face as she looked at Wang Wan's mother, Madame Wang. After all, Madame Wang was not Zhang Xiaobao's biological mother. After eating the bun, she only felt that it was delicious. She said to the Jiang Wang clan, "Sister, why do I feel that the bun tastes familiar when I eat it? It's delicious. In the future, let the shop make more of it. We can eat it every day. It's best if they send it early. We can't wait to eat. Look at the time now. If it's morning, we've already eaten breakfast. If it's noon, there's still some time before noon." When the Jiang Wang clan heard this, she was about to nod her head. However, she thought for a moment and said, "They're busy with opening the shop. Why don't we let them prepare it before noon? We can eat it as lunch. Don't always eat buns. Just cook some dishes. What do you think?" "Busy? Isn't it to make money? Give them 50 copper coins for 1 bun. They can buy a few hundred buns at a time. That way they can earn more from the things they make for us. If they don't make other things, won't they have more time?" Madame Wang was not bullying others. She was prepared to compensate them with money. Wei Wei shook her head and looked at Madame Wang. She wanted to laugh. If Madame Wang knew that the person making the food was her son-in-law, would she still be willing to let him work so hard? The Jiang Wang clan confirmed the identity of the owner of the shop with just 1 bun and a mouthful of soup. The taste was too familiar. Other than her son, Xiao Bao, she did not believe that there was anyone else in the world who knew the taste that she was used to. Furthermore, the fact that the steamed buns with meat filling could be made into a light flavor and the soup made from wild herbs was definitely a dish meant for pregnant women. Would there be anyone who would mention their physical condition to the owner of the store? The bun was delivered at the right time. Not only was it delicious, but it also made her feel at ease. She did not know why Xiao Bao and Cuckoo opened a shop next door. She guessed that they deliberately wanted the people in the manor to buy their things. His son, Xiao Bao, was so powerful. Who would dare to say that they could open a shop next door and have the confidence to sell things to the Wang mansion? Xiao Bao could do it. Without that identity, even if he did the work of an ordinary person, he would still be able to achieve his goal. Since her son and daughter-in-law didn't want to use their real identities, as a mother, she couldn't expose them, especially this little sister. If she found out that her usual behavior wasn't right, it would probably cause trouble for Xiao Bao and the others. After thinking for a while, Jiang Wang clan said to Wang Shi, "Younger sister, let's just stay here and let them cook. If we go back and the others don't like it, they'll have to change the time. It's too troublesome. Why don't we just eat it at noon? If they like it, we can ask them to send some over at night. Don't make too much. Just enough for the 2 of us. The shop is small, and we don't have enough people. We can't let them be in charge of the entire residence's meals. Listen to me, it's settled." "Ah, not allowed to do more? All right, I'll listen to you. It's delicious for me, so how can others not like it? Speaking of which, the owner of the shop is really amazing. He's even better than our family's chef. Even when compared to the flagship store between the clouds and the water, the difference isn't that big." In the end, Wang Shi decided to listen to Jiang Wang clan. After all, she had always listened to Jiang Wang clan whenever she encountered something, so she was already used to it. She praised the owner of the shop again. Her preconceived idea made her think that the food made by the chef of Between the Clouds and the Water was better. If she knew that the steamed buns and soup were made by her son-in-law, she would immediately think that her son-in-law was better. Because the food was delicious, the 2 of them ate a few more mouthfuls than usual. This was especially true for Jiang Wang clan. While eating, her happy expression didn't change at all. Once he was full, he found a servant from the inner courtyard and instructed him to have the servant in charge of receiving the goods from the braised food store go to the store and inform the owner of the braised food store. At night, he would deliver 2 dishes, cabbage and tenderloin. After that, Jiang Wang clan pulled Wang Shi back to her room to rest. She planned to use other methods to make Wang Shi feel at ease and not worry about the children. When Wang Shi's servant heard the madam's instructions, he was overjoyed. This meant that his performance was good. In addition to that, he was bribed by the shop to eat good steamed buns. He planned to ask the owner of the shop to make more food for him in the future. Thus, he rushed to the braised food shop as quickly as possible. Unlike his humble attitude in the manor, he spoke to Zhang Xiaobao, who had nothing to do for the time being and was resting at the side. Zhang Shi, here's a deal. My madam has instructed you to make some food and send it in at night. Make 4 dishes. 1 is sweet cabbage, 1 is steamed tenderloin, 1 is cold dish with more onion and garlic, and 1 is fried crabs. It has to be fried until crispy. Wang Shi's servant actually wanted to eat it himself. He liked to eat fried fish and cold dishes. When Zhang Xiaobao heard this, he frowned. What nonsense was this? Sweet cabbage? Didn't he know what his mother liked to eat? Steamed tenderloin? It wasn't steamed buns. There would be soup inside. His mother didn't like to eat that. As for the last 2 dishes, could a pregnant woman eat them? When this matter was over, he really had to teach this servant of his grandfather's family a good lesson. If he had sent a fake decree, he could have just said that he wanted to eat it. Why did he have to use another name to do it? Although he was angry, Zhang Xiaobao didn't show it on his face. However, he definitely didn't plan to let this servant eat comfortably. He put on a simple and honest expression and agreed, okay, I'll make it. But I've never made it before. I'll try. Don't blame me if I can't make it. If you can't make it, you'll be beheaded. I won't blame you. If I don't blame you, then should I? Make it well and eat it. I'll give you more money. Try it. Yes, and prepare 2 trays of steamed buns tonight. Make it like this morning. Wang Shi's servant raised his head and turned around to leave. Zhang Xiaobao also turned around and came to Wang Wan's counter. He whispered to Wang Wan, "Did you see that? Grandpa's family is like this. Our mother wants to eat cabbage. Where can we buy it at this time of the year? No, mother doesn't think about where I can get cabbage. I have to get him back." After saying that, Zhang Xiaobao ordered Wang Gang, "Xiao Gang, go and get him. I don't have cabbage. Tell them to change the dish. I can't make it." Wang Gang hurriedly chased out. He didn't tell Zhang Xiaobao what he said. Instead, he asked his servant to get some cabbage from the manor. Even if they couldn't find it anywhere else, they definitely had it in the manor. When his wife went out, everything had to be prepared. They couldn't not be able to find anything when they wanted to eat. If some vegetables were not kept in the soil for a long time, they had to be specially raised in the soil when they came with the ship. At this time of the year, it was indeed impossible to find cabbage in Hangzhou. Not to mention cabbage, there weren't even cabbages. At the same time, he also planned to ask his servant to talk to the manor. This servant actually dared to talk nonsense. The 2 madams were pregnant. How could they eat cold dishes with onion and garlic? What a joke. Sweet cabbage? It was possible to eat spicy cabbage. Zhang Xiaobao also took the money from the counter and said, "I'm going to buy tenderloin. I have a choice. I hope the meat next to the butcher is still fresh. There's also tenderloin. To make sweet and sour tenderloin, you need to use rock sugar. Cabbage is the simplest kind of cabbage. Where can I get old vinegar? My mother didn't think about it. I don't have anything on hand. How can I not know what to do?" After muttering to Wang Wan, Zhang Xiaobao went out to look for all kinds of things he needed. Wang Wan pursed her lips and smiled. She shouted behind him, "Look, do you have any pancakes? Buy 1 for me. Keep an eye on it. It must taste good." "Buy what?" "It's free. I'll make it for you when you come back." Zhang Xiaobao's voice came from outside the door. In Wang Lu's residence, in the side courtyard of the 4th courtyard, the head maidservant Wang Lvi also received 3 steamed buns. They were not soup dumplings. There were only 2 drawers of soup dumplings. Zhang Wang clan and Wang Lu ate 1 drawer each. Only the maidservant in charge of testing for poison ate one. Wang Levi looked at the steamed buns in front of her with a solemn expression. She wanted to eat them, but she was afraid that they would be gone after eating them. If she didn't eat them, she was afraid that they would be cold by noon. She was hesitating. Levi, I have something good for you. Candied plums, take a look. These are their things. I saw that no one was eating them, so I secretly brought them for you. Wang Levi was thinking about whether to eat the steamed buns or not when a man sneaked into her room. He was like a thief. He was very careful. He was holding a small wooden tray. There were about 10 candied plums on it. Seeing the person who came in and hearing what he said, Wang Levi frowned. Wei Wei said, Wang Shu, how many times have I told you? I told you not to come here, but you still came here. Is my place where a man like you can enter? Do you want to be beaten to death? You still dare to steal things. Quickly send them back. If people find out, they will break your hand. If I want to eat candied plums, I will ask for them myself. Quickly get out. Lu He, I, Wang Shu, don't care if others can eat or not. You are my savior. If you didn't take pity on me because I couldn't find a job and recruited me, I don't know how much I would have to suffer outside. As long as you can eat good food, I'm willing to even kill me. The man called Wang Shu by Wang Levi had a grateful expression on his face. Not only did he not go out, he also put the tray in his hand on the table. He glanced around and saw the 3 steamed buns on the table. He asked curiously, Levi, why are you eating steamed buns at this time? Steamed buns are not as delicious as candied plums. Eat the candied plums. You eat. Wang Levi looked at the candied plums on the table and said very unhappily, I told you to send them back, you. Forget it, this is the only time. You are not allowed to steal things in the future. If you are found to send them back, you will be beaten. Did you hear what I said? If there is one more time, I will tell the housekeeper and let the housekeeper punish you. I know. This is the last time. I will not steal things in the future. Look, they don't eat it and throw it here and there. After today, they probably won't want it anymore. I don't have any other skills. If I want to repay the kindness, I can only do this. If it wasn't for you, I would only be working at the dock. It is tiring and not earning much. You see, I am thin and don't have that much strength. When I think about it, I feel that I should do something for you. Wang Shu seemed to be very obedient and began to talk about the past. Wang Levi nodded helplessly and said, If you really want to repay the kindness, you should do well in the mansion. When I met you half a year ago, I saw that you were smart, so I recruited you. You can't make trouble for me. Otherwise, I will be punished with you. There are steamed buns on the table. Eat one. It is not an ordinary steamed bun. It is a gift from my wife. The braised food shop outside specially made it for the mansion. There are not many of them. You take one and I will eat the other 2. While speaking, Wang Levi pushed the plate of steamed buns in front of Wang Shu. Wang Shu took one and hesitated. He opened his mouth and took a bite. His eyes immediately widened. Before swallowing the steamed bun, he nodded and said, Delicious, really delicious. I have never eaten such delicious steamed buns in the mansion. Is it made by a small shop outside? Why don't they make more? Then everyone in the mansion can eat it. Their shop is a braised food shop, not a steamed bun shop. Wang Levi said, Let them change it. Our mansion is very powerful. If I tell them to change it into a shop, they will change it into a shop. Levi, how about this? You talk to the housekeeper and let me go out to do things. I will buy you better things. Isn't it easy to eat steamed buns? Wang Shu finished a steamed bun and moved closer to Wang Levi as he said. Wang Levi shook her head and said, No, you know the current situation. Not only the original people in the mansion, but also the people of the Zhang family and the Wang family, as well as the emperor are here. I have already ordered that all the servants who have been in the mansion for less than 5 years are not allowed to get close to those courtyards. They are also not allowed to talk to the servants of the other side. When they meet, they have to lower their heads. Even people like us who can go out can't mention anything about the mansion when we go out. You said that you want to go out, but you have only been here for half a year. There is still a long way to go before 5 years. You should just stay in the manor and wait for His Majesty to leave. Naturally, you will be able to go out. I don't think it will take His Majesty a long time. At most, it will take half a month. Alas! Wang Shu sighed and said, "In my opinion, the mansion is too strict. You can't go out within 5 years. How long has it been since the news of the Emperor's arrival? People who come in within a month may be spies from other places. I have been here for half a year and there is no news at that time. How can I do something bad to the Emperor? Besides, the Emperor has a lot of guards. If I go out to do something, can I find tens of thousands of people to harm the Emperor? I can't go out all day in the mansion. I feel sullen. Lvi, you are the best. You can see the 2 madams. Since you have nothing to do, you can tell me about them." Are the rules different from ours? There is nothing to say. And the rule of the mansion is that during this time, the servants who have been in the mansion for less than 5 years are not allowed to ask about anything about the other side. The servants who have been in the mansion for more than 5 years are also not allowed to say anything. Don't ask me. I won't tell you. After Wang Lvi said this, she pointed to the steamed bun on the plate and said, "If you think it is delicious, you can eat one. I will leave one to taste. You will reward me again tomorrow." "I won't eat it." "You eat it." "Lvi, don't you believe me? I am the person you recruited. You can tell me. I won't mention this to others. I am curious. You can tell me about the things outside. For example, that braised food store. When did they open? Is it the one in the east? I have eaten there before when I could go out. The owner there doesn't know how to make steamed buns. I have never heard of them selling steamed buns, let alone rolling pancakes. Did they change the owner?" Wang Shu swallowed his saliva, but didn't continue to take the steamed bun. He still asked Wang Lvi about things. Wang Lvi looked at Wang Shu in surprise and asked, "How do you know they sell rolling pancakes? You haven't gone out before?" "Ah. How do I know? Me. I am bored in the mansion, so I found someone who can go out to talk. I asked about the lotus flowers in West Lake and they casually mentioned it. I estimate that in a few days, the lotus flowers on West Lake will bloom. When that time comes, I will be able to go out and take you to see the lotus flowers. Those lotus flowers are just like you. Beautiful. You are even more beautiful than the lotus flowers. You have a good heart. If you hadn't, don't talk about the things that I recruited you. Just do your job well and you will repay me. In the future, you are not allowed to ask others about the things outside. If you are found out, you will be beaten. Why bother?" Wang Lvi didn't like Wang Shu to talk about the things that happened in the past when they met, so she warned him again. Wang Shu hurriedly nodded his head. Yes, I won't ask. I just casually asked. They said it themselves. I will remember it in the future. Before the Emperor leaves, I won't ask. Even if they want to talk to me, I will cover my ears and not listen. Lvi, you eat. I will go back and find a job to do. I won't make you lose face. After speaking, Wang Shu turned around and left. Wang Lvi looked at his back, shook her head, and murmured, "This person is good at everything, but he always likes to ask about strange things." Sigh. If it was before, it wouldn't matter. But now, it will be easy for the steward to find out about this matter. At that time, I will also be implicated. Before dinner, Wang Ju's servant came to the braised food store and asked Zhang Xiaobao, who had just finished his work, "Is everything ready?" Okay, wait a moment, I will pack the food." Zhang Xiaobao took out a food box. He deliberately bought it. It was not a basket used to hold cakes. The basket was not layered, but the food box was layered. Out of the 4 dishes, 2 of them were steaming hot. Just as he was about to put in the mixed vegetables and the deep-fried crabs, Wang Ju's servant suddenly said, "Put these 2 dishes separately. Don't put them in the food box." The smell will spread. No, don't think that it's a food box. The food box I bought is better. Each layer is tightly sealed. It won't go bad. If you don't believe me, you can see it. Zhang Xiaobao held the food box and showed it to the servant. If I tell you to separate them, then separate them. Find a basket and pack them. There's also some braised food. Cut some and some wine. Hurry up, we are still waiting to go back. Wang Ju's servant smacked his lips and ordered more braised food and wine. Zhang Xiaobao quickly put them in a basket. The wine was put into a gourd. The gourd was not small, and there was still room for 3 catties of wine. Passing the food box and basket to the servant, Zhang Xiaobao asked, "Shouldn't the money for the braised food and wine be?" "What should be? What do you want to say should be?" "Your store should be closed down and all of you should be thrown into prison." There are many things that should be done, humph. Wang Ju's servant glared at him, took the things, and left in large strides. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the servant's departing figure and shook his head. He turned around and stood next to the counter. The waiter, Zhang Yi, came over and said to Zhang Xiaobao, "Brother Zhang, we are open for business. We seek money, not power. We can't afford to offend powerful people. Don't think that he is just a servant. Do you know where he is from?" Without waiting for Xiaobao to ask, Zhang Yi continued, "I've heard from the diners that they are from the prince's mansion. It's the prince's mansion that's not far from our restaurant. It's really something. Just bear with it, what else can we do?" "Right, brother Zhang? What's more, the things they buy are very expensive. We can make a profit and treat it as money for the beggars. Don't you think so?" "Yes. I just don't want to lower myself to his level. Otherwise, stepping on him would be like stepping on a bug. I, sure too, am not afraid of him. I will just treat it as feeding the food to the dogs," Zhang Xiaobao said with a lack of confidence. Zhang Yi quickly added, yes, brother Zhang. Just based on your cooking skills, even 100 of him can't compare. If it weren't for the store's business, I would have beaten him up in anger. If worst comes to worst, I will run away. Where can they find me? I am afraid that if they can't find me, they will come to the store to cause trouble. That's why I didn't do anything. Brother Zhang, I feel annoyed just looking at him. How about this? Next time he comes, tell him not to come to the store personally. Our store will send someone to deliver the food. When the time comes, you won't see it and won't feel annoyed. I am willing to do it. It's fine if it is tiring. Zhang Xiaobao saw that Zhang Yi was silent. When Zhang Yi didn't know what to do, he nodded. Maybe he can't agree. Since they are from such a powerful Wang mansion, what if they are afraid that someone will poison them? How can there not be people who specialize in testing poisons in the Wang mansion? If they want to poison them, they can do it in the store. Do you think I will poison them? Not to mention that I don't have such thoughts. Even if I do, they will be able to test it. If I run away, it will affect the store. Even if he, a servant, offended you, and I wanted to avenge you, I couldn't possibly poison him. I'm not stupid, and I don't know what poison is. I always get sick from eating it. If I knew it, how could I get sick? Zhang Yi said to Zhang Xiaobao with a smile. Then he asked, "What do you think? When he comes tomorrow, I'll tell him. At most, I'll bring him something when I go. Isn't he just relying on his master's ability to eat for free? Anyway, I won't let you see him. It's fine as long as you're happy." "Okay, you can try it tomorrow. I still don't know what the Wang mansion is like. If you can really send him something, you can take a look around. If you meet someone who is easy to talk to, I will also learn." That is the Wang mansion. Zhang Xiaobao agreed. Zhang Yi returned to his seat with satisfaction and did what he was told. Wang Gang, who was standing at the door, looked at Zhang Yi and Zhang Xiaobao. He lowered his head and pondered for a while. When he looked up again, the corners of his mouth curled up. Zhang Xiaobao pretended not to see, but glanced at Wang Wan. Wang Wan and Wei Wei nodded. They knew that Wang Gang was going to help Zhang Yi enter the Wang mansion. Since Zhang Yi wanted to enter, they would let him in and see what he was going to do. They would also see if he was going to ask for information himself or if someone in the Wang mansion had contacted him. In this way, they would save a lot of trouble. They had planned to follow the vine to find the melon, but now it seemed that it was not necessary. They only needed to pay attention to the people who were eating. Who had any tricks with Zhang Yi? Zhang Nan, who was in charge of putting things on the shelves, also looked at them. His hands slowed down as if he was thinking about something. At night, Zhang Yu came back. The blood vessels in his eyes were gone. It seemed that he had a good rest outside and was very energetic. He was carrying 2 big grass carps in his hands. Every day, the fish weighed at least 3 kilograms. He pierced them through the gills with a willow branch. One of them was not completely dead. Obviously, it moved a little. Seeing Zhang Yu, Wang Gang became more friendly. He said to Zhang Yu, "You are back? Why are there still fish? I asked you to see if they threw away the food at noon when they were fishing. Did you go into the water and catch the fish yourself?" Wang Gang had a reason to be friendly because he already knew the identity of the other party. He should be in the same group as the Zhang family and the Wang family. If he showed his identity, the other party could cooperate with him. Zhang Yu did not know that his identity had been found out by others. When he was outside, he sent a telegram and contacted his own people in Hangzhou. He was free now. He had to make good use of this one day. Hearing Wang Gang's question, Zhang Yu looked at Zhang Xiaobao first and said, "I don't have the ability to catch fish. A fish weighing 3 kilograms is more than enough to catch me. It is afraid of me on the shore, but I can't do anything to it in the water. It is a gift." I went to the West Lake and stayed there. There were a lot of people fishing, and they were all wearing nice clothes. There were even more attendants. It was a grand scene. I wanted to go closer, but they wouldn't let me. In the end, I had no choice but to stay near a person from the fishing association. As long as I didn't go to the center, they didn't care about me. I stayed with the person next to me. He was very good. In one day, he caught more than 20 fish. I also helped him with the net. In the end, when he left, he didn't want a lot of fish, so he asked the people following him to share it with the people on the West Lake. As for me, I was given 2 fish that looked the most pleasing to the eye. At noon, when he saw me eating, he asked me where I was from. I told him I was from the braised food store. To tell the truth, it wasn't something to be ashamed of. I told him why I was here. I also showed him the food that Brother Zhang had brought me and shared it with him. He also gave me a glass of white wine. The wine was delicious. Then, he praised the seafood roll in our shop. He said that the seafood roll was delicious. When they left, I carried the grass carp and ran around the place where they had been. No one threw it. Not only did they not throw the seafood burrito, they didn't throw the oil paper either. The place where they had been was clean and tidy. I ran back. "Brother Zhang, look, one of the fish was moved just now. It's not dead yet. You can cook it." He. Zhang Xiaobao nodded and also laughed. He didn't believe that Zhang Yu had spent the whole day by the West Lake and did nothing else. Looking at Wang Gang's attitude towards Zhang Yu, he must have found out the other's identity. Since that was the case, he was relieved. Zhang Nan was one of Li Longji's people. Now, there were 4 people in the store. It was 3-1 to torture Zhang Yi. Interesting. After taking the 2 fish, Zhang Xiaobao said, Good fish. When the store is closed tonight, I will cook fish for you. I'll braise it. It's not good, but it's better than cooking it yourself. Brother Zhang, you will definitely cook it well. Zhang Yu quickly praised. Why are you making 2 fish? It's 3 catties of fish. 1 fish is enough for them. Leave the other one first. Find a cool place and hang it up. Eat. What are we going to eat tomorrow? Just when everyone showed a happy expression, Wang Wan's words followed. Zhang Xiaobao almost couldn't help but laugh. This Wang Wan, she never forgets to play her role. It's just 2 fish. So what if they don't make a sound? She must show her character all the time. Sigh. Zhang Yu and the other 4 people also had a headache. It's true that they came here to be intelligence officers, but they were always being scolded. No one felt good. They never knew that being an intelligence officer could be so cowardly. Listen to the boss and eat 1 fish. Brother Zhang, cook 1 fish. It's enough for the 4 of us. It's 3 catties. Each of us can eat a lot. Zhang Yu wanted to say that he was the one who brought the fish back, but he didn't dare to. He was afraid that the female boss would get angry and not want the fish. Then, she would kick him out. Then, all his efforts would be wasted. When they met today, the people on his side had already told him to find a way to find out whether the other 3 people were real or not. Another task was to keep an eye on the 2 bosses of the restaurant. He wanted to know what else they could do besides making braised food, rolls, and steamed buns. If possible, he wanted to recruit them into the organization. With good craftsmanship, it would be more convenient for them to do things. Moreover, it would be easier for them to achieve results. The task was very important, especially the last one. It seemed very difficult to get the female boss into the organization. She was a person who only ate and didn't vomit. Therefore, he must not be kicked out. Zhang Yu made a concession, but he didn't expect that the female boss was not done. She continued, "You 4 eat the 3 catties of fish. Stone and I will watch. Divide it into 3 parts. 1 for the head, 1 for the tail, and 1 for the middle. The head and the tail should be about the same as the middle. When the time comes, we will eat the head and the tail." Zhang Yu quickly said. As for how much good meat the head and the tail could bring, it would depend on how Brother Zhang cut. "You eat." "How can I let you eat? You have been busy all day and worked hard." "The good meat is for you." "Stone and I will eat the head and the tail." "Don't say any more. It's settled." Wang Wan tried to be gentle, but the 4 guys didn't feel it. They were always on tenterhooks. They were afraid that the female boss would say something. Seeing that the good meat was going to belong to them, it would be a lie if they didn't feel guilty. But Zhang Xiaobao knew that Wang Wan really wouldn't eat the middle part. That was what ordinary people ate. If he made it himself, the head and tail of the fish would be delicious. Unfortunately, it was not the fat head fish. If it was the fat head fish, the head would be more valuable. Nowadays, people still didn't know how delicious the head of the fat head fish was. When the sun set, oil lamps were lit up in the store. This was how small stores were like. Unlike the rich families nowadays, who lived near the river or where the wind was strong, they would spend a lot of money to hire a company to install an electricity system for them. After installing the electricity system, there could be a washing machine. It was a one-way rotation. If you wanted to change the direction, you could only take the clothes out and let the clothes change direction before putting them in. It was easy to break. But even so, the rich people also used it. They didn't expect to improve the efficiency. It was just for show. There was also the electric light. Because of technical reasons and not enough investment in this area, it was easy to break down. The real technical tilt was all on the fuel machine. Some people burned biogas. It was not easy to make a biogas lamp, but it was not necessary to use a biogas lamp to light up. Just follow the pipe out and directly spew out fire. It was brighter than candles and cheaper. This was all because of Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. The 2 of them knew a lot of things. Otherwise, let alone the electric light, even the people of Great Tang wouldn't know about it. How long did it take to invent the electric light? At that time, there were theories. Then, they had to experiment with different filament materials. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan directly skipped this process. When others finished researching, they just used it. This was the advantage of the Industrial Revolution. For Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, many common knowledge in Great Tang were great knowledge that people couldn't understand even if they spent a lot of effort. The oil lamp didn't light up at all, especially for Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. They were used to the existence of the electric light. When they lit the oil lamp again, they felt uncomfortable in their eyes. So, the 2 of them simply didn't look at the swaying flame. Just like yesterday, there were still 2 tables of people who hadn't finished eating. There were 3 people at one table and 4 at the other table. They were leisurely drinking wine, eating side dishes, and braised food. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan glanced at each other. They judged that these 2 tables were filled with their own spies. Moreover, it wasn't just the 2 tables left. During the day, their own spies would also take turns eating here to ensure that there were still people in the restaurant other than Wang Gang. After all, the things in the restaurant had entered the Wang residence. They couldn't be careless. Wait for the day to come later. Then, the 4 of them wouldn't be able to sleep well tonight. Zhang Xiaobao also went to the counter and sat down. Like Wang Wan, he closed his eyes and rested. The 2 of them still had to discuss things in the evening. He thought that there were only 2 tables of people, but after a while, 2 more people came in and sat down. They also ordered wine and drank slowly. From time to time, they would whisper a few words about family matters. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan glanced at each other again. They also couldn't tell which side the 2 people who came in belonged to. Just as he was surprised, another person came in from outside. He glanced around the restaurant and found that 3 of the 4 tables were already occupied. He went straight to the empty seat and ordered several dishes and wine. He poured himself a cup of wine and drank by himself. Who is this? Is everyone here to join in the fun? Zhang Xiaobao asked in bewilderment. Wang Wan shook her head. She wasn't a deity, so how would she know? Footsteps sounded outside the door again. This time, 2 people came in. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan glanced at each other. They could guess who they were. They were from Li Longji's side. Everyone had their own habits. They understood a lot. After careful observation, they would be able to tell. There were also times when they couldn't tell. However, such people were placed in more important positions. The 2 of them didn't fight for the seat where the other person was sitting. There was a long table beside them. They sat next to each other and ate. Just when Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan thought that no one else would come, 5 people came in from outside. The person in front had a scar on his face. He glanced around and directly went to the table where the other person was sitting. He tilted his head and looked at the person eating. He raised his chin and said, "Move aside and eat. One person is occupying a big table." Even someone as smart as Zhang Xiaobao was confused. Whose side was this? Chapter 1073. It was very common for customers to have disputes over seats in the restaurant. Generally, there were 3 ways to deal with it. First, the restaurant owner was weak, so he hid aside and let the customers make a fuss. Whoever was afraid would give up their seats. It was a very cowardly way of doing things. Those who gave up their seats would not come back in the future, and they would also tell their friends and relatives not to come. Second, the restaurant owner felt that he could still eat well in this place. He would go to both sides to negotiate and persuade them. He would spend money to buy face and try not to offend both sides as much as possible. He would also give extra dishes to those who gave up their seats for free. The third way was for the restaurant owner to be powerful enough to chase out the troublemakers and not allow them to come back in the future. In this way, other customers would feel more comfortable eating at this restaurant, but it was not easy for the restaurant owner to do this. In fact, there was also a restaurant like between the clouds and the water. Usually, no one dared to make trouble at all. Once someone was bold and wanted to make trouble, it was not as simple as being driven out. They would be arrested and tortured to ask who ordered them to come here. How many benefits did they receive? Then they would be sent to the government, convicted directly, and sentenced severely without any mercy. Wang Wan stood up. She wanted to use the last method, which was to drive out the troublemakers. As for sending them to the government, she felt that it was unnecessary. It would not be good if they were exposed. Zhang Xiaobao stopped her, walked over with a smile, and said to the leader of the 5 people, "Guest, this big brother, there is a set of empty tables behind. I will take it out right away and put it down for you. There will be room in a few minutes. Please wait a moment." "Who is your big brother? Who are you calling big brother? I want this table." Don't talk too much, or the restaurant will be smashed. I am talking to you. Get out of here. You are taking a table by yourself. How shameless. The man with a scar on his face stared at Zhang Xiaobao and said. Then he began to drive away the people who were sitting there and had not made a sound. Zhang Xiaobao quickly said to the person sitting there, Brother, how about this? I'll get you a good seat. There's a table for two behind me. It's better than the table in the shop. Today, I've got 2 new fish. I'll cook them in a while. Do me the honor and try them. What do you think? As he spoke, Zhang Xiaobao gave the 4 shop assistants a meaningful look. Wang Gang was the first to come over and persuade the 5 to wait. Zhang Nan stood up, looking as if he was about to make a move. Zhang Yu ran to the back to get a table. Only Zhang Yi moved very slowly. He stood there, looking as if he didn't understand what was going on, and had a blank look in his eyes. What are you waiting for? Tell him to scram now. You stay aside. The man with the scar on his face glared at Wang Gang. He raised his arm and swung it at Wang Gang's face. Wang Gang leaned back slightly and tilted his head. Just as he was about to dodge, he didn't know why, but he suddenly reacted too slowly. With a slap, the other party's 3 fingers touched his face. 3 white streaks appeared on his face, then turned red. It was obvious that his face was higher than the rest of his body. You still dare to dodge? I told you to dodge, and you dodge again. Seeing that the shop assistant had made a dodging action, the leader of the 5 was not satisfied and began to chase after Wang Gang to hit him. Wang Gang was also smart. He took 2 hits, turned around and ran out from the back. No one knew where he went. The man chased him to the back and stopped. Zhang Yu just came back with a table. He smiled at the man and said, Sir, please calm down. He doesn't know how to behave. When he comes back, let him apologize to you. Please sit. Brother, look, I've brought the table. At this time, the man sitting alone also stood up. He moved aside and didn't say anything. If it wasn't for Wei Wei's trembling body, others would think that he was not afraid. Zhang Xiaobao, quickly, help me move the things on the table here. Zhang Xiaobao ordered Zhang Yi again. Move, I'll move. Zhang Yi seemed to have just reacted. He looked at the 5 people and was about to take the things on the table that the previous man ate. The other 7 people who were eating also stopped and watched the situation develop. From the expression on their faces, they were very dissatisfied, but no one came to interfere. At this moment, the man who hit the man came to the table again. He swept the table with his hand and all the plates, bowls and other things on the table were swept to the ground. Why are you moving? If it's broken, give me all your good things. If you don't give me one, I'll tear down the restaurant. And that shop assistant, find him. How dare he run? If you can't find him, I'll teach you a lesson. The man roared at Zhang Xiaobao. Yes, all of them. We'll definitely find him. Don't be angry. That big brother, please sit over there. I have other things here. Zhang Xiaobao nodded repeatedly and agreed. It was reasonable to say that the man should have left directly. He had lost face and was not eating well. The restaurant wouldn't ask him for money, so he should just leave. But he just didn't leave. He was very easy to talk to. He sat down at the table prepared by Zhang Yu and waited for Zhang Yu to bring him some food and wine. He started eating there again. Zhang Nan didn't look angry. He found a broom and started to clean the things that were swept to the ground by the man. Zhang Yi was still standing there stupidly, looking like he didn't know what to do. Xiao Yi, hurry up and get the food for them. I'm going to the back to make fish. There are 2 fish. Let's try them. Xiaobao instructed Zhang Yi and turned around to enter the kitchen. Wang Wan followed behind him. He couldn't collect the bill today. He couldn't collect the bill at any table. Someone came to make trouble, but they didn't leave. That was giving face. A restaurant owner had to be sensible. Since he chose to be a peacemaker, he couldn't offend anyone. As soon as Zhang Xiaobao came in, he waited for Wang Wan to come over. He said to Wang Wan, "Did you see it clearly?" "I saw it clearly. Zhang Yi found someone. You're playing dumb." He probably thinks that it's not easy for him to do what he wants with Wang Gang and others around. So when they come to eat in the daytime, he asks someone to help him clean up the other shop assistants in the restaurant. It's better to just beat them away. Wang Wan also saw it and said to Zhang Xiaobao, "I can't let them make trouble like this. Wang Gang can't be exposed. I'll teach them a lesson. It's just 5 people. I'll find a strong stick. It's too painful to hit people with fists. You cooperate with me when I hit them later." Zhang Xiaobao said and went to the window. Wang Wan whispered behind him, "Use a short one. The long one can't be used. It's easy to smash the restaurant." "I know. I'll take one in each hand. See how I'll teach them a lesson." Humph. Making trouble in my restaurant. Zhang Xiaobao's figure disappeared into the night. After about 5 minutes, a man in black clothes with a black cloth on his head appeared at the door of the restaurant. He had a sickle wrapped in a thick cloth in front of his head. When he came in, he shouted that it was a robbery. Then, he waved the stick and knocked down Zhang Yi, who was standing there. Then, he swung the stick at the 5 people. "Someone's fighting. Someone's robbing us. Stone, come out. You useless coward. Someone's robbing us." Wang Wan appeared at the door of the kitchen and shouted at the top of her voice. Just her voice alone was enough to make people's ears buzz. At first, the 5 people who were being beaten saw someone rushing over with a stick. They planned to work together to knock him down. However, when they started fighting, they found that the other party's fighting strength was too strong. They couldn't block or dodge, let alone fight back. The other party was too fast and strong. They knew that the other party was going to hit them, but they couldn't react in time. In the end, they could only hold their heads with both hands and run around, but they were knocked down one by one. 1.5 minutes. In less than 2 minutes, the fight was over. The robber ran to the counter and ignored Wang Wan's shouts. He grabbed a handful of money and carelessly stuffed it into his pocket. Then, he turned around and ran out again. Sure too, he took the money away. "You coward, why did I follow you? Come out with a knife." He took the money away. "I don't want to live anymore," Wang Wan shouted as she leaned on the doorframe. 6 people were knocked down in the restaurant. Their faces were full of blood. 3 of them were moaning, while the other 3 were unconscious. The effect of the cloth-wrapped stick had been achieved. The other people in the room were all dumbfounded. No one continued to sit. They all stood up and leaned against the corner. They looked at the mess in the room and didn't know what was going on. They only knew that the 5 arrogant people were all lying on the ground. The ones who were awake were groaning and groaning. Their faces were all swollen. None of them had a nose that wasn't bleeding. Some of them had wounds on the corners of their eyes, mouths, and foreheads. There were even 2 people who were rolling around with one hand holding the other. It seemed that their bones were fractured. Too ruthless. This is too ruthless. A person came in and in the blink of an eye, all of them are lying on the ground. "Hi, hand," Zhang Yu said in surprise as he stood beside the person who moved the table. Zhang Nan also nodded. He's an expert. His movements are too fast. He's definitely a professional. In such a short time, he beat up people until their faces were covered in blood. He didn't even kill them. He really knows how to control his strength. After running out, Wang Gang, who wasn't too far away, peeked his head from behind. He was also surprised. He quietly walked in and asked, "What happened?" "I was hiding behind when I heard the female boss yelling. When I came out, it was a mess." "Then, that person ran away?" "He stole the money and ran away. I couldn't see clearly from my position." "You didn't hit them?" Zhang Yu and Zhang Nan asked at the same time. "If I had that ability, I would have done it just now." That person just now seemed to be wearing black clothes. "Where would I have time to change clothes?" Wang Gang shook his head and said, "He really didn't hit them." After about 2 minutes, Zhang Xiaobao came out of the kitchen. He was holding a pot lid in one hand and a kitchen knife in the other. He bent down and revealed 2 eyes from above the pot lid. He shouted in a trembling voice, "Where is he? I'm not afraid. He dared to rob me. I'll chop him." The 2 legs that were exposed under the pot lid were trembling non-stop, and they were inching forward step by step. "He ran away. He stole the money and ran away. You coward. Just now you only knew how to hide. What kind of life am I living with you? I don't want to live anymore." Wang Wan shouted at Zhang Xiaobao while picking up the money that the person had dropped when he was trying to grab the money. "Don't be angry, don't be angry. If something like this happens again next time, I'll definitely rush out first. Your box is filled with loose change. It's not much. Don't be angry. You 4, come and help me persuade them." Xiao Yi, where did you go?" Zhang Xiaobao's body was exposed from behind the pot lid. He said to Wang Wan and the 4 workers, I'm here, Brother Zhang. I was beaten up and bleeding. When he rushed in, I knew he wasn't a good person at first sight, so I went up first. When he shouted that it was a robbery, I was ready to fight. Who knew that he would knock me down in one fell swoop? He was holding a weapon in his hand. I am bare-handed. Brother Zhang, my forehead is broken. I don't know how he swept my nose, but it is also bleeding. Zhang Yi leaned against a stool and sat on the ground. His 2 hands were wiping his forehead and his nose. His hands were full of blood. At this time, he did not forget to show off his merit. He said that he rushed in. Zhang Xiaobao was clear in his heart. The reason why he broke his skin was because he hoped that he would continue to work. Of course, he could sweep his own nose when it was bleeding. Zhang Xiaobao looked at Zhang Yi's nose carefully. He was very satisfied. Both nostrils were bleeding, but there was no problem with the bridge of his nose. Ordinary people did not have this kind of skill. Although he was happy, Zhang Xiaobao still looked scared. He said to the other 3 workers in a trembling voice, "Quick, one of you come and persuade your boss." The other 2 look at Xiao Yi. Who did he provoke? He actually came to rob us. We are doing business properly. Why is there always someone disturbing us? When the 4 workers heard Zhang Xiaobao's words, they were all stunned. There was a hidden meaning in his words. They had never heard of this before. They turned to look at the other 5. Their injuries were obviously more serious than Zhang Yi's. It turned out that the 3 people who had fainted had already regained consciousness. They were only confused because of the beating. Zhang Xiaobao knew his limits. Out of the 5 people, 3 of them had a broken hand, 2 of them had a broken nose, 4 of them had a cut on their foreheads, and 1 of them had a cut on his ear. Only 1 of them had a more serious injury. Zhang Xiaobao used a scythe to hit the top of his head on his left rib, breaking one of his ribs. That location was very uncomfortable. The 3 workers were busy with their own tasks, including Zhang Yi. The 4 of them suspected that it was the boss who hired these people. But looking at the boss, it did not seem like it. Moreover, he had been hiding in the kitchen. How could such an honest person know a powerful person? If that was the case, the boss should have stood up and said that he was the one who hired these people to scare others who wanted to come and cause trouble. As for being robbed, not only did the 4 workers not believe it, even the people who were eating and the one who was beaten did not believe it. Who would have the skills to grab a handful of coins and run away when they were robbing? The only ones who had a conflict with these 5 people were the one who was chased to another table and Wang Gang. But the 2 of them did not seem to be the case. The one who was chased to another table never went out, let alone contact anyone. As for Wang Gang, he ran out for a while to find someone and explain the situation clearly to that person. He also described the appearance of the 5 people and asked that person to change his clothes and prepare a weapon. There was not enough time for him to run into the restaurant and beat them up. Unless there was someone who always prepared the clothes and was right next to the restaurant, it was not possible. The people who were eating were not satisfied? That was not right. They also did not go out. Zhang Xiaobao did not care whether others were suspicious or not. Anyway, he was satisfied. He put down the pot lid and put it back together with the knife. When he walked out again, although his legs were still trembling, his face was much better. He looked at the 5 people who were more seriously injured than Zhang Yi and asked, they were also involved. Chapter 1074. The 5 people lying on the ground recovered quickly. After a while, they were no longer in a daze. Some sat up, and some stood up. The man with the scar on his face looked at the door with lingering fear, afraid that the masked man who had just come in would rush back. He was not stupid and knew that the other party was coming for them. He was also wondering who sent the masked man. Based on the man's skills, he was definitely not an ordinary person. At the very least, he had to be the leader of the guards of a big family. Otherwise, he would not be so fast. After looking at the door, he saw that there was no one there. Even the people walking could not be seen. Only then did he turn his head and begin to look at the others in the room. He felt that everyone seemed to be in cahoots with the person who beat them, but then he felt that it was impossible for any of them to be in cahoots. This was strange. Did the 5 of them get beaten up for nothing? Thinking of this, he felt indignant. His eyes fell on the counter. He rubbed his face and head with his hand. After rubbing the blood evenly, he came to the counter with his eyes wide open. He said to Wang Wan, "I was beaten up." "What do you say? It wasn't us." Zhang Xiaobao trembled as he came over. He even knew to protect Wang Wan at the counter, ready to fight at any time. The man with the scar on his face looked at Zhang Xiaobao's movements and disdainfully curled his lips. He said, "Get out of here. With you like this, I can beat up 3 people. Give me the money. 100 strings of cash per person. Not enough. Even if you sell our shop, we can't get 500 strings of cash. We don't have it. We really don't have it." Zhang Xiaobao did not hide. He still trembled at the door of the counter, showing a kind of fear, but he had to protect his wife. Wang Wan looked at Zhang Xiaobao's appearance and almost laughed. His acting was too good. As for the man with the scar on his face, Wang Wan felt that if the other party's organization only had this kind of people, it would not be difficult to deal with them as long as they found the specific place in the future. "No. If not, I'll sell all of you as well. This little girl's looks are a bit lacking, but her figure. Don't you think so?" This person glanced at Wang Wan and asked the other 4 injured brothers. "Big brother, now that you mention it, I realize that it is indeed not bad." Take out the money, we can't do without money." Immediately, another person echoed. We were also robbed of our money. We were also harmed. Why should we give you money? I will fight it out with you. If you dare to take another step forward, Lin Fan said, shaking his head. Zhang Xiaobao picked up the abacus on the counter and covered his face with it. His eyes peered through the gaps between the beads on the abacus. Ha 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 ha. The 5 of them laughed together. They were very happy to see Zhang Xiaobao's cowardly look. It was as if they weren't the ones who were beaten just now, and their broken hands didn't hurt anymore. "Sure too, why are you afraid of them? Xiao Nan, Xiao Yu, Xiao Yi, Xiao Gang, the 4 of you, quickly go and report to the officials. Just say that someone in the shop is looking for trouble." Wang Wan was still as fierce as before. She held her waist and was no longer afraid of being robbed just now. "Okay." Wang Gang answered and was about to run out. Zhang Yi didn't care that his nose was still bleeding. He quickly rushed to Wang Gang and pulled him back. He said loudly, "Lao Er, don't go. Boss, you can't go. If the officials come and ask questions, they will investigate carefully and won't let the shop open. How long will it delay the business? What's more, the one who beat people and ran away was covered in black from head to toe. We can't see his face. Where can we find him? It's useless. No one is looking for trouble. Brothers, don't you think so?" When he asked the 5 of them, Zhang Yi's tone slightly changed. It seemed that he was very angry, but if one didn't think carefully, one wouldn't notice it. The 5 of them remembered their purpose of coming to the shop. They also remembered their own identity. If they were caught and questioned by the officials, they would be exposed. Yes, this young man is right. We are not looking for trouble. It's a misunderstanding. The man with the scar on his face immediately followed Zhang Yi's words and said to Wang Wan. Zhang Xiaobao opened his mouth and showed a smile that was uglier than crying. He said, It's a misunderstanding. It's fine as long as it's a misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? I don't see it. As soon as they came in, they looked for trouble. We endured it. Then the person who rushed into the shop later must have a personal grudge with them. He took revenge on them in the name of robbery. I only smashed the expensive things in my shop. In order to cover up his purpose of revenge, he robbed me of 50 strings of coins. No, report to the officials. If I don't report to the officials, who will compensate for my loss? Do you think it's easy for me to open a shop? We just want to eat, but someone actually came to bully us. Why are you 4 still standing here? I'd rather shut down my shop and capture them. Zhang Xiaobao looked like a coward. He wanted to calm the matter down, but Wang Wan seemed to have found an opportunity. She did not want to do it and insisted on reporting to the officials. Zhang Yi was anxious and angry. During the day, he had contacted the other side and asked them to help him. In the end, what kind of people were they sending? They did not listen to him and acted on their own accord. The 5 of them were scared now. Their impulsive blood cooled down. At the same time, they felt pain in various parts of their bodies. The leader did not know what to do. He could not admit defeat, but he could not act tough. He hated Zhang Yi to the core. Why don't the 5 of you just run away? Isn't that fine? Just as Zhang Yi thought of this, Wang Wan's voice sounded again. If they dare to run, you guys follow behind them. Go report to the officials now. Someone must compensate for the loss of the shop. The total is 150 strings of coins. Not one less. I spent a lot of money to buy this table. There are also plates and bowls. A pair of chopsticks is worth 200 coins. Yes, the boss is right. Compensation, let the 5 of them compensate. 150 strings of coins is not much. Otherwise, they will be arrested. Based on their crime of causing trouble, even if they don't die, they will lose a layer of skin. I know those chopsticks. They cost 200 coins a pair. That's the price for 100 pairs at a time. If you buy them individually, one would cost 150 coins. Zhang Yi stared at the 5 of them and said. His hand was still holding Wang Gang, preventing him from reporting to the officials. The officials were not far from here. If Wang Gang ran and shouted on the street, it would alarm the officials. There were powerful people there. If they came out to ask, it would be over. Zhang Yi hated that he could not let his eyes speak and tell the 5 of them what to do. The leader of the 5 people also reacted. Ignoring the blood on his forehead, he nodded and said, We'll pay. 150 strings of coins. Isn't that a bit expensive? Chopsticks, those chopsticks, aren't they made from ordinary bamboo? They are sold in pairs. How can they be sold one by one? They can be bought with 1 coin. The boss said it's worth 200 coins, so it's worth 200 coins. If you dare to say more, we will report to the officials. Zhang Yi said fiercely. Don't report to the officials. It's worth it. Really worth it. Pay up. The leader said and reached into his pocket. Zhang Yi saw his movement and wanted to jump up and bite him to death. How many troublemakers would carry 150 strings of coins with them? Not to mention the troublemakers, even ordinary people would not. 150 strings of coins was enough to buy a better house. It was not like they would go to a place like Between the Clouds and the Water to eat. With hatred in his heart, Zhang Yi had to remind him again, Brother, can you take out the money now? That's great. Once you hand over the money, you can leave. Now. I didn't take out the money. My chest hurt from the beating just now. If you want to rob a shop, just rob a shop. Why did you beat us? Yes, I have to go back and get the money. The leader thought about it. Although he had enough money with him, he must not take it out, in case someone with bad intentions would notice something else. It's not a robbery. It's your personal vendetta that brought trouble to my shop. You can go and get the money, but you can't all leave. Only one of you can leave. Xiaojiang, you follow that person to get the money and come back quickly. I tell you, if anyone dares to run, I will let people shout. There are many big houses nearby. We don't shout, thief. If we shout, catch the thief, they may ignore it. But if we shout, fire, they will be afraid of burning their house and will come out. Let's see how you can run. Humph. Wang Wan was still there with her hands on her waist and stared at them. Everyone in the room, except for Xiaobao, was impressed by this female boss. Most people would not have thought of such a method, but it actually went wrong. Zhang Yi felt that he should re-evaluate this female boss. Not only did she like to care about small amounts of money, but she was also very smart. But it seemed that he could not let Wang Gang go with her, so he said, "Boss, let me go. Wang Gang is injured. It is not convenient for him." "It's convenient for me. I can go." Wang Gang could not find an opportunity. Now that the opportunity was in front of him, if he did not know how to seize it, he was really a fool. He had been suspicious of Zhang Yi. He always felt that Zhang Yi had some purpose. He also arranged people to investigate Zhang Yu. The result was that Zhang Yu had left Hangzhou and was being followed. As for Zhang Yu, he was relieved after his identity was checked. Zhang Nan was also very familiar with him. Although he and Zhang Nan were not in the same system, they could cooperate with each other at critical times. At present, Zhang Yi always revealed a trace of strangeness when he did things. It was not the kind of behavior that an assistant would do to please the boss. It was more to gain the power to participate in many things. Especially when it came to the matters of the Wang mansion that were related to the wife of the boss here, Zhang Yi was too enthusiastic. "Boss, let me go. I am familiar with Hangzhou. I won't get lost." Zhang Yi did not want others to follow him. He was afraid that something would happen. However, Wang Wan's purpose was to create an opportunity for Wang Gang. That was the original intention of opening the restaurant. But at that time, she did not expect that the intelligence personnel of her family, Li Longji's side, and the people of the other side would also participate. If no one participated, she would have to follow the clues together with Xiao Bao. It would be a little troublesome, but it was not a big deal. Now that she had a helper, she would treat the restaurant as a trap. She let them come in one by one and then let Wang Gang and the others follow them one by one. Anyway, the family did not lack manpower and material resources. No matter how the other side struggled, there were enough people to keep an eye on them. Therefore, when Zhang Yi repeatedly asked to replace Wang Gang, Wang Wan shook her head. "Xiao Yi, your injuries are more serious. You have been implicated. In the future, stand aside and don't block the door." "Yes, ask them to give you another 10 strings of coins to buy things to nourish your body. Tomorrow morning, go to the nearby medical center to see a doctor. Remember to bring your birthplace card, or else they will charge you. Xiao Gang, go, be careful on the road." "Yes, I will listen to the boss. Big brother, I know you are protecting me. But look at your face. Go wash it first and see which part is broken. Rub it with the boss's medicine first. Go to the medical center tomorrow and let the doctor examine you carefully. Don't leave any lingering effects." Wang Gang said deliberately and then said to the 5 people, "Who will take me to get the money?" After thinking for a while, the leader of the 5 people said to a person beside him, "Lao Wu, you go and borrow from Uncle Chi's family. They should be able to take out the cash." The person who was called did not have a fracture. He nodded and turned to go out. Wang Gang followed behind him. Zhang Yi watched as the 2 figures disappeared into the night. He was slightly worried. If things didn't go well, Uncle Chi's line would be cut off. He couldn't continue to operate. Who knew if there was any danger? What if someone with ulterior motives saw something? Wang Wan's purpose was achieved. She no longer cared about the 4 injured people standing in the room. She said to the remaining 3 waiters, Xiaonan, Xiaoyu, you 2 hurry up and clean up. Xiaoyi, you wash up. There is blood everywhere. People who don't know will think that you are seriously injured. Let me take a look after you wash up. The waiters were busy. Wang Wan turned her head and said to the others who were eating, I am sorry, everyone. Today, there is someone in the restaurant who is seeking revenge. As a result, you have not eaten well. I will serve you another meal later. Today's wine and dishes are all on us. Don't leave. Of course, those people would not leave. They belonged to different forces. They still wanted to continue to observe, including the people from Zhang Yi's force. They did not intend to leave. When something happened just now, they clearly saw it, but they could not help. The tables were not broken, but the plates and other utensils were broken. After the food was taken away, it was quickly served again. She also added a few side dishes for everyone. As for the fish that she promised to cook, the restaurant was already in such a state. If Wang Wan did not mention it, no one would find trouble with her. When everyone was eating again, Wang Wan said to Zhang Nan, Xiaonan, go outside and look around. See if the person who made trouble just now was hiding somewhere. Something has happened once. We can't let it happen again. Go, keep an eye out. Zhang Nan's eyes lit up. He also happily walked out from the back. Of course, he would not look for the person who hit people. Even if he found it, what could he do? He wanted to contact his own people so that he could keep an eye on the rest of the troublemakers and the people who were eating in the restaurant. He did not recognize Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. The only thing he knew was which side Zhang Yu and Wang Gang were on. Just now, they were in the room, so it was not convenient for them to come out and report. Now it was all right. He thought in his heart that this female boss was very interesting. She just casually arranged things and actually helped him and others a lot. Not long after, Zhang Yi had cleaned up and changed his clothes. A lot of blood was stained on his clothes just now, which made people feel uncomfortable. The blood from his nose had stopped, and there was a small cut on his forehead. The cut was not big, and there was a little blood. When he saw Wang Wan, he tried to look very energetic. He was afraid that the boss would ask him to go to the clinic tomorrow. If he went to the clinic, if he did not want to spend money, he had to hand in his birthplace. He knew what his birthplace was. It was fake. If the clinic had special people to check it, once they found out, he might not even have time to run away. Wang Wan also knew, but she deliberately wanted to tease Zhang Yi. When she saw Zhang Yi, she asked with concern, Zhang Yi, do you have a headache? I mean inside. It doesn't hurt at all. It's just a little swollen outside and a little cut on the skin. It's okay. It won't affect my work. Zhang Yi shook his head hard and straightened his chest. It's good that you don't feel any pain. I'll send the money over in a moment. Your 10 strings of coins is for you to nourish your body. If you want to eat outside, it's better to eat in the shop. I'll ask Shetu to make good food for you. Whatever you lack will be replenished. Since your skin is broken, I'll ask Shetu to make pig skin for you. Wang Wan said to Zhang Yi. Her words were for discussion, but her tone did not allow the other party to object. What else could Zhang Yi say? He could only nod. All right, then I'll have to trouble you, brother Zhang. I'm going to have a good meal. Boss, you don't have to give me the money. Just take it as making something for me, hee. Zhang Yi was really helpless with this boss. He even wanted to take the money to nourish his body. What was this? Fortunately, he had a mission. Otherwise, he would have quit long ago. If it was an ordinary person, who would be able to stand it? Not only was the salary low, but they also had to do a lot of work. At the same time, they only had a little rest time. Needless to say, at the end of the month, they would be finished after a few days, unless they specifically came with a purpose. As he thought about it, Zhang Yi suddenly paused and pondered. That's right, I came here with a purpose, so why did the other 3 guys put up with it? Could it be that they couldn't find a more profitable job? Impossible. It was obviously impossible. It was too easy for them to find a job that was several times more profitable than the restaurant. What did they mean? Could it be? Thinking of this, Zhang Yi didn't dare to think about it. He felt that countless cold sweat appeared on his back in an instant, and his clothes were wet. He began to doubt whether any of the three people were intelligence agents of the Zhang family and the Wang family. If there were, how many of them were intelligence agents? What was their purpose? If all three of them were intelligence agents, it didn't seem so from their usual behavior. If only one of them was intelligence agents, what were the other two doing? If none of them were intelligence agents, did the three of them have nothing better to do? Thinking of these questions, Zhang Yi felt that the restaurant was no longer as warm as before. Instead, it became cold. He was surrounded by enemies, and he was isolated and helpless. The more he thought about it, the more scared he became. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that this was the case. Seeing that everyone was suspicious, he didn't wake up until Wang Wan called him over and over again. He looked at Wang Wan in surprise and asked, "Boss, what did you say?" "I said, sit down and rest. Don't stand there. You are injured, so you should have a good rest. Sleep early tonight. Little you go back with Zhang Yi and take care of him. If he has a headache or fever, you must come and tell us." Wang Wan said to Zhang Yi and asked Zhang Yu to take care of him. She meant that the rest of the work would be left to Zhang Nan and Wang Gang. No, boss, I can do it alone. It's not a big deal. Now that it doesn't hurt, I can go back by myself." Zhang Yi suddenly found that this was an opportunity. If he went back first, he could contact someone. If he was faster, the other three people would definitely not finish their work. Although there were people in the restaurant who had come to contact him, it was inconvenient after all. Zhang Yu saw this. How could he do this? If he didn't go back with Zhang Yi, what if Zhang Yi did something wrong? How could he keep an eye on him? For the past 2 days, he found that Zhang Yi was a little problematic when doing things. So he immediately asked, "Boss, okay, I will go. Big brother, don't force yourself. What if—" Okay, little you, since Zhang Yi is fine, you don't have to accompany him. There is still a lot of work in the restaurant. It's not a big deal to lose one person. Let Zhang Yi go back by himself and wait for the others to finish their meal." Wang Wan originally wanted to ask Zhang Yu to go, but Zhang Xiaobao tapped twice on the counter with his finger. It was not loud, but Wang Wan could hear it. She turned to look at Zhang Xiaobao and immediately understood what Zhang Xiaobao meant. Then she changed her words. After waiting for half an hour, Wang Gang came back with the 5th of the 5 people. The money was also handed to him. As soon as he entered the restaurant, he sent the money to the counter. It was exactly 160 strings of cash. Not more, not less. "Okay, you can go now. Go and have your wounds checked. Oh, you wasted a lot of time. It would be bad if you get sick. Go. Come back often in the future." Wang Wan counted the notes back and forth. She counted them back and forth for 20 times. Her mouth almost cracked from smiling until Zhang Xiaobao coughed. Then she carefully put away the money and said to the 5 people warmly. The 5 of them turned around and left without saying a word. Their broken bones didn't hurt anymore. They were numb now. Whether they could come back again in the future would depend on the intentions of the people behind them. In any case, if it were up to them, they would never walk on this street again, not to mention the shop. Not long after the 5 people left, the customers at the other tables also got up and left. It seemed that they didn't want to continue eating. It seemed that they could close early today. "Zhang Yi, you go back and rest. The 3 of you clean up the house and wash the dishes." After closing the door, Wang Wan ordered the 4 people. Zhang Yi was happy. He wanted to say something polite, such as he was fine, and he could also help. However, he was afraid that if he said it, the female boss would really make him stay. So he didn't say anything. He just smiled and stood there with an embarrassed look. After a few breaths he said, "Boss, brother Zhang, I'll go back first." Go back. Zhang Xiaobao waved at Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi happily turned around and left. The remaining 3 people looked at each other anxiously. Seeing Zhang Yi's figure disappear at the back door, Wang Gang raised his head and frowned at Wang Wan. He opened his mouth, but finally closed it helplessly and didn't say anything. He did not say anything, but Wang Wan said to him, I just remembered that you're injured too, Xiaogang. How about this, you go back too? You can watch Xiao Yi for a while. What if he suddenly gets sick at night after being beaten up? Go on, what are you waiting for? Go quickly. Wang Gang almost couldn't believe his ears. The boss let him go just like that? He left at such a good time? Zhang Yi had just left. Didn't that mean that he could follow him now? After letting out a sigh of relief, Wang Gang looked at Wang Wan gratefully. He nodded twice and said, Boss, don't worry. I will repay you well in the future. I will do my best and won't let you worry. Then, I'll go. After that, he trotted out of the back door. Wang Wan pursed her lips and smiled, saying, Of course you have to do your best. As for worrying, do you think that we don't worry about you? You are so careless. Is there a problem? I'll deal with you later. Zhang Yu and Zhang Nan heard it clearly. Zhang Yu didn't think too much. He just thought that the female boss gave him some benefits like charity. However, Zhang Nan had a feeling that the female boss was implying something. According to the female boss's words, she even mentioned him. After he found someone to contact, he only asked them to keep an eye on the people who were eating and causing trouble in the restaurant. However, he didn't have anyone to guard the surrounding area of the restaurant and the employees who were leaving the restaurant. There was a problem. There was a problem, and it was a big problem. If Zhang Yi was free, it might cause a lot of trouble. Of course, it was also enough for the boss to worry about. The series of events that happened tonight seemed to have coincidentally arranged the 4 of them, especially him and Wang Gang. It was as if the boss was cooperating with each other. Their cooperation was called tacit understanding. What he and Wang Gang needed, the boss immediately provided the opportunity. How was it possible? Especially when Wang Gang left just now, it was too good to be true. Thinking of this, Zhang Nan looked at the female boss. As a result, he saw the female boss stare at him and shout, What are you looking at? There are only 2 of you left. Why don't you go to work? Do you want to delay until tomorrow morning? I give you a salary, but what do I keep you for? Look at you. The whole restaurant is full of work. You just stand there stupidly. Don't you know how to do things? You still want to eat fish? Stone won't let you eat the fish when it's ready. Even a dog knows how to lick its master's feces. What's the use of keeping you? Why are you still standing? Zhang Nan's thoughts were all gone. He didn't dare to think blindly anymore. He started to get busy with Zhang Yu. After the table was cleared, they began to wash the dishes as if their lives depended on it. The aroma of the braised fish wafted into their noses after they finished washing the bowls. Zhang Xiaobao scooped the fish onto a special long plate, smiled at the 2 of them and said, Brother Zhang Xiaobao, you've worked hard today. You've done a lot of things. It's not easy. I'll give you a reward. It's a small recognition that you've made a small contribution. You have to continue to work hard. Listen to the boss, and you'll definitely do things smoothly, right? When Zhang Nan heard Zhang Xiaobao's words, the idea in his mind just now emerged again. Chapter 1075. With doubts in his heart, Zhang Nan ate the fish bit by bit. After thinking too much, he couldn't even tell what the fish tasted like. Zhang Yu didn't think of so many things. He had been tired for a whole day, and something very interesting had happened in the same day. He just finished his work and decided to taste the fish. He didn't just cook one fish like the female boss had said. He had already cooked the 2 fish he brought back. One plate was placed on the table, and the other was placed in the kitchen. He wanted to eat it tomorrow, so he cooked it today. Eat, eat, eat. Don't stare at the rice. Eat the fish. Wang Wan washed her hands and came to eat with them. This time, she didn't scold them. Even so, Zhang Nan and Zhang Yu didn't dare to eat slowly. They chose a small place to eat the meat and didn't touch the other parts of the fish. Before Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan finished half a bowl of rice, Zhang Yu and Zhang Yu ate 3 bowls each. They put down their chopsticks and looked at Wang Wan, indicating that they wanted to go back. Why are you looking at me? If you want to go, just go. Remember to take the other fish in the kitchen back. Also, prepare the rice for Xiaojiang and Xiaoyi. They are also wounded. Wang Wan pointed at the direction of the kitchen with her chopsticks and said to the two, Don't you want to eat it tomorrow? Zhang Yu asked in surprise. Why did the female boss become so easy to talk to in such a short time? Tomorrow? We'll eat it tomorrow night. Tomorrow, Xiao Nan will go to the fishing place. No matter what, you must bring back more fish. But you are not allowed to spend money. The restaurant doesn't have that kind of money. Wang Wan said to Zhang Yu, but her eyes were looking at Zhang Nan. Zhang Xiaobao swallowed the rice in his mouth and said, Yes, Xiao Nan tomorrow, Xiaojiang the day after tomorrow, and Xiaoyu the day after tomorrow. Oh, with the fishing association, it's much more convenient for us to eat fish. They mainly want to fish, not to eat. Rich people, they are all rich people. Hurry up and leave. Don't you want to get up and do your work tomorrow? Wang Wan began to urge Zhang Xiaobao the moment he finished speaking. Zhang Yu nodded repeatedly and ran to the kitchen as fast as she could to pack the things. She took them out and called Zhang Nan, who was even more confused, to leave with her. Zhang Nan's sudden idea became more and more intense, especially after he heard the boss talk about the order of rotation. There were 4 workers in the shop, but 3 of them were taking turns to go out. Zhang Yi was not allowed to go out. This was interesting. Why was Zhang Yi not allowed to go out? Puzzled, Zhang Nan walked to the door. The female boss's words came from behind him. All of you should be more alert when you do things. Don't just stay in the shop like an idiot. Look around. Isn't there a grocery store nearby? More people go there to buy things than to eat. They didn't come in to eat. It wasn't that they didn't know about this restaurant, nor was it that they didn't want to eat. They just felt that it was a little expensive to come in and eat once. They think it's expensive because a plate of braised food is too big. Can't you make a smaller plate and put it in the grocery store and take the initiative to sell it to them? With so many people coming and going, you can ask them if there's anything to improve on the braised food in our shop. Don't be afraid that they won't buy it. Even if they don't buy, you can still talk to them. After a long time, they will be familiar with each other. Maybe when they want to eat something like snacks, the first thing they think of is your shop. Remember? Boss, I remember. It means to take the initiative to sell it. I will try it tomorrow. Zhang Yu heard the voice coming from behind and stood there. After waiting for the boss to finish speaking, she hurriedly responded. Let's go. Wang Wan's voice came again. Zhang Yu still didn't think too much about it, but Zhang Nan's eyes lit up. That's right, why would he let his people stay in the store all the time? If there was a problem, he could let his people go to the grocery store. He could even arrange for his people to stay in the grocery store. Walking out of the shop and chatting with others would make it easier to pass on information and information more accurate. Why didn't I think of it before? It's the boss. Is the boss hinting at something? Following behind Zhang Yu, Zhang Nan suddenly felt that the 2 masters were very mysterious. It was as if the masters were always inadvertently directing some kind of important matter. Meanwhile, the braised food shop had become a whirlpool that constantly involved people from all walks of life. The more it involved, the more people it involved. The more it involved, the smoother the collection of relevant information became. This time, his and Wang Gang's departments could be considered to be working together. The news from Jiangzhou was that the people from both sides had worked together and achieved some results, but it wasn't too obvious. After investigating a place, they would immediately be cut off by the other side. Although there was always new information, the progress was too slow. It even delayed the emperor and Zhang Yu's other arrangements. Even Xiao Bei and the others were forced to stay on the boat and couldn't get off. However, just as they were stuck in a deadlock, the braised food store opened, and within 2 days, they managed to contact the Wong family residence. Then, everything started to become clear, especially Zhang Yi. It was now confirmed that he was sent by the other party. There was no need to explain their purpose. They were definitely trying to find a way to infiltrate the Wong family estate and grasp the situation of the store. At the crucial moment, they would use a slow poison or obtain useful information from the Wong family estate. Perhaps there were already people from the other party in the Wong family estate. However, due to the time limit of the Wong family estate, they couldn't come out. It was very likely. Thus, Zhang Yi came, and so did the 3 of them. They were divided into 4 factions and all of them were gathered in the store. They were either attacking or defending, scheming, all for the sake of obtaining control of the store. However, for the past few days, the power seemed to be in the hands of the 2 bosses. There was no one who could persuade the bosses to do anything or control the important resources of the store. Logically speaking, the 4 of them were not ordinary people, so why were they always restrained by the 2 bosses in the process of fighting? It was very strange. However, after investigating, the 2 bosses' backgrounds were very clean. What was going on? Zhang Nan, what are you thinking about? We're almost there. Do you think Wang Gang can follow Zhang Yi and obtain some information from him? Zhang Yu saw that Zhang Nan was walking with his head lowered, so he asked in puzzlement. Now that the situation was clear, the 3 of them were on the same side. There was no need to hide anything from each other, so he should speak up first. Hearing Zhang Yu's words, Zhang Nan didn't reveal any surprise. He also understood that the 3 of them had already confirmed their identities through the power of the organization. Thus, Zhang Nan said, Zhang Yu, let me ask you something. Don't you think that the boss of the braised food shop is different from other normal bosses? Different? How is it different? The male boss is simple and honest, sometimes even stupid, but the food he makes is delicious. At the same time, he is timid and afraid of his wife. The female boss always wants to take advantage of him and also likes to scold people. She is more annoying than other bosses, so it's normal. If you have to say what's different, it's probably that they dare to charge a high price for something worthless. It's very smart because they succeeded. It's that sea creature made of biscuits. No one usually eats small crabs, and most people by the sea don't eat them either. There's no meat inside, so if you boil it, it's uncomfortable to eat it. If you fry it, it wastes oil. Who would have thought that it could be sold at such a high price in the hands of the boss? I found it, it's different, it's really different. Zhang Yu didn't understand the meaning behind Zhang Nan's words. He was still analyzing the personalities of the 2 bosses. Zhang Nan felt that Zhang Yu's organization had made a mistake by sending Zhang Yu. He was too stupid. He guessed that his organization didn't have too many people, and they didn't have enough funds for training. Most importantly, they couldn't make too much of a fanfare. Thinking of this, Zhang Nan felt that it was normal. He continued asking, if it was a normal shop and you went in to do things, would you be able to gain the boss's trust and manage the entire shop? Another shop? Let me think. Oh, if it was another shop, it would be much better than the braised food shop. I would be able to give ideas to the boss and let him earn more money. Give me some time, and I would definitely be able to grasp the situation in the shop. I might even be able to influence the boss and the other employees. However, this braised food shop is different. The female boss has her own ideas in everything she does. Moreover, the things they do are beyond my expectations. For example, the reason why we came here is because the items in their shop entered the Wong family's estate. The emperor is in the Wong family, and the madams of the Zhang and Wong families are also in the Wong family. We were afraid that something would happen in the shop, so we came here. We didn't expect to meet Zhang Yi here, which gave us a clear goal to work with. If I came directly to the shop before the items were sold in the Wong family's estate, I definitely wouldn't have the ability to come up with an idea to let the food in the shop enter the Wong family's estate. The main reason is that the power behind me wouldn't be able to directly influence the matters in the Wong family's estate. If it was you guys, it would be much easier. You could get someone to open a shop and sell the items in the Wang family's estate. After that, you could attract people like Zhang Yi and search for clues on him. Zhang Yu followed Zhang Nan's words. When she reached this point, she suddenly stopped and said to Zhang Nan in astonishment, "Why didn't I think of such a good idea? Don't tell me the boss was arranged by you guys? How is that possible? If we were the ones arranged by them, would they dare to treat us like this? We would have already given up our authority." However, if that was the case, Zhang Yi and the others probably wouldn't appear. It would be too obvious. Also, if we were to open a shop, it wouldn't work at all. It could only be a shop related to food. Otherwise, what doesn't the Wang family have? Could it be that they could come out to buy some ordinary things? If they wanted to open a shop, it would take a long time to prepare. Zhang Nan shook his head and said. He also suspected that someone arranged for the boss to open a shop here, but after thinking about it, he found that it was impossible. If a spy was really arranged to open a shop here, he must first cook good food, and then his acting skills must also be top-notch. In addition, during the process of getting along with his people, he must ensure that he didn't reveal any flaws. It was very difficult to do this. They must carry out targeted training in advance, but they didn't have the time, because no one had thought of this method. This method was too difficult to implement, especially in a very natural situation. The food made by the boss was first praised by the people in the fishing association, which couldn't be faked. Maybe the boss behind Zhang Yi was also in the fishing association. How could he not know whether the food was delicious or not? If the food was really not delicious, the boss would definitely be noticed by the boss through his organization. Besides, how good would his acting skills be to not be seen through by the people on Zhang Yi's side? Zhang Yu, I'm confused. Let me analyze it for you. Zhang Nan summarized what had happened in the past few days, including what the two bosses said just now. In the end, he came to the conclusion that one of the bosses was cooperating with the three forces to deal with Zhang Yi. After that, he asked Zhang Yu, "What do you think? Especially what the female boss said when we walked out of the door. Is she reminding us not to put all our manpower in the braised food store? Is there another store next to it?" "Huh. You understood what I meant." "No way. You are in the Emperor's power. You have trained your spies so well. The female boss is just a woman. How can she give you pointers? It's just a coincidence. If you don't believe me, you can think about it carefully. Maybe the boss didn't do anything deliberately. It's all our fault. The boss has been acting according to the normal situation, and then this happened to us. Zhang Yi was beaten, and he was hit on the head. Maybe the boss was afraid that something bad would happen, so she asked Wang Gang to go back with him. If he was beaten and died in the room rented by the boss, the government would investigate. How could the boss not be afraid? Zhang Yu listened to Zhang Nan's analysis and was shocked. After pondering for a while, he felt that it was impossible. The matters in the shop seemed to have always been the result of the four of them fighting. The owner was just following the four of them. I hope I'm thinking too much. Otherwise, the boss's identity will be suspicious. Zhang Nan shook his head and said, "As you said, it's normal. But it's just so coincidental. I don't believe it's a coincidence, but I just feel that it's not like that. Don't think about it if you can't figure it out. The boss is still the boss. The fish tonight is good." Do you think Zhang Yi and Wang Gang went back now? Zhang Yu thought of the two people who left one after another. He didn't know how they met, but it must be very interesting. They should go back. Zhang Yi can't go too far. Otherwise, when we finish our work and go back, we won't see him. Isn't he afraid of being suspected? If he has been trained, he should know that when doing things, he has to suspect everyone around him to prevent any mistakes. Zhang Nan also didn't know how Wang Gang and Zhang Yi met. If it was one after the other, then Zhang Yi went to another place to contact someone. Wang Gang came back after Zhang Yi came back. In that case, if the boss talked about it the next day, how would Wang Gang deal with it? If Wang Gang went back first after watching someone, then Zhang Yi, who left first, went back later. How would he explain it? The two of them entered the courtyard with doubts in their hearts. As soon as they entered, they heard the sound of chickens. The chickens were caught and raised in the courtyard. It seemed that the boss planned to raise them to lay eggs and eat meat. It seemed that the boss planned to run the shop for a long time. There shouldn't be any other purpose. After thinking about it, Zhang Nan opened the door and went in. There was still light in the room. When he entered the bedroom, he first smelled the smell of medicinal wine. When he looked up, he saw Wang Gang rubbing the wound on Zhang Yi's forehead. Although it was only a small wound, it was swollen and could be rubbed away with medicinal wine. Second brother, how is big brother? Zhang Nan asked with concern. He's okay. The bump is a lot smaller. Come and rub it. My arms are sore. When I came back, big brother wasn't there. I was scared because big brother fainted on the road. It was dark outside and I couldn't see clearly. I went out to look for him, but I couldn't find him. After a while, big brother came back with the medicinal wine. I didn't expect that we should be helping big brother. Today was really unlucky. Big brother was standing there, but because he was close to the door, he was implicated. Tell me, what's going on? If those 5 people offended someone, they wouldn't do it in the shop. If it was really a robbery, how could they just take a handful of change? This is really puzzling. Wang Gang handed the medicinal wine to Zhang Nan and said while shaking his wrist. Zhang Nan nodded. He couldn't figure out what was going on either. It was like a dream, but it happened. While rubbing the bump on Zhang Yi's forehead, Zhang Nan said, "Who knows? Unless we catch the person in black and ask him, maybe we can find out. Big brother, where did you get the medicinal wine at this time of night?" Ouch. Be gentle. I can't get it anywhere. I bought it with money. I knocked on the door, but they weren't satisfied and asked me for an extra coin, Zhang Yi said with a grin. Zhang Yi said with a grin. He did smash the door, and he didn't know the person who sold the medicine. He thought about what he would do if he met the other 3 people on the way back, so he did everything. Even if someone questioned him, he wouldn't give himself away. It's fine if it's an extra coin. After all, they sold things in the middle of the night. Anyone would feel uncomfortable. Just take it as hard work. Zhang Nan said with less strength. Seeing that it was over, Zhang Yi groaned again. Hiss, it's about time. That's it for today. Go to sleep. I have to get up early to work tomorrow. I originally wanted to take some time to clean up the rented house. I put dust on the places that need to be dusted, and the tiles that need to be dusted, but I've been busy. How about this? I'll clean the other 2 houses tomorrow. When you get up in the morning, you guys go first. I won't take too much time. You guys tell the owner. How about it? While asking, Zhang Yi observed the expressions of the 3 people. He began to suspect that one of them was the person who wanted to deal with him. To be precise, he was the person who wanted to deal with his organization. If one of the 3 people disagreed, he would have to pay more attention to him. There was a tacit understanding between the 3 people now. When they heard Zhang Yi's question, they all nodded in agreement. Especially Wang Gang, he already knew where Zhang Yi went. When Zhang Yi stayed tomorrow morning, he could arrange for someone to investigate the person who contacted Zhang Yi. Seeing the attitude of the 3 people, Zhang Yi was confused again. Could it be that he was thinking too much? Normally, if someone wanted to deal with him, they would have to stay together with him. Shaking his head, Zhang Yi, who couldn't understand, turned over and lay on the bed. He waited for someone to blow out the oil lamp. He opened his eyes and looked at the dark ceiling before slowly falling asleep. As for the fish, no one ate it. They were too sleepy to bear. They could only think about it tomorrow. It probably wouldn't spoil overnight. The next morning, Zhang Nan and the other 2 people left Zhang Yi at home and went to the braised food shop first. Zhang Nan was directly sent out. Today, he was in charge of staying at the fishing area and asking people what kind of texture they wanted when they ate the burrito. When he came back, he would tell the owner so that the owner could improve. At the same time, he also did the most important thing, which was to dress up as a shopper and wander around the grocery store next door. It would be an additional channel to pass information. As usual, Zhang Xiaobao made food for his mother. This morning, other than the 10 trays of steamed buns, he also made shumai with mutton. The biggest difference between the two was that one was made with dough, while the other was made with dough. In terms of taste, there wasn't much difference between the fillings. The main difference was the texture. Zhang Xiaobao even prepared to make a halal turn back. This one was very fragrant, but the best fillings were beef. He couldn't buy beef in his store, and even if there was beef, he wouldn't dare to make it. There was no such thing as halal now. Furthermore, he had tried making it at home, and even Li Longji felt that it was good. However, it definitely wasn't available in other places, including the restaurant between the clouds and the water. After all, this thing used beef as the fillings. If he really made it and sent it to the prince's mansion, almost everyone in the inner courtyard would know who the owner of the store was. Li Longji might even have to come over personally. That would be really troublesome. While waiting for the servants of the prince's mansion to come over to pick it up, Zhang Yi also finished cleaning and came back. He was indeed cleaning. Who asked him to bring it up yesterday, and the other 3 also agreed. In addition to cleaning, he also prepared some food for Chick. He didn't do anything else, let alone contact his own people. He couldn't let his own people come to the rented house. It was too easy to be exposed. As soon as Zhang Yi came over, Zhang Xiaobao asked with concern, "Zhang Yi, how's your head? Are you confused?" "No, brother Zhang, look, it's fine. There's just a red mark on the broken part. After 2 days, the red mark on the outside will disappear. It doesn't look like it was injured at all. There's still a little bit left on the original bag. It'll be fine after tomorrow." Zhang Yi pointed at his head and replied with a smile. "It's good that you're fine. You rest first. Look, Xiaojiang already told them that we can deliver it to them. As long as we're done here, we'll deliver it to them. We don't want to delay the eating time. If the steamed buns are left for too long, the taste will become worse." Zhang Xiaobao signaled Zhang Yi to look at the servants of the Wang mansion who were waiting there. Hearing this, Zhang Yi was tempted. He wanted to take over this job, but Wang Gang was in charge of everything in the shop. What if Wang Gang was given a tip when he delivered the goods and didn't let him do it? Just as he was thinking about how to take over the job, the voice of the female boss sounded. "Zhang Yi, in a while, you go and recognize the door first. Remember the way, it'll be convenient when you deliver things in the future. Be smart, don't just be a fool. Don't just focus on delivering things. Build a good relationship with others. Ask the concierge what they like to eat. We'll cook for them later." That's the mansion of the Wang family. It's not ordinary. If you can do the business there, this store will become more and more popular in the future. See if there's any space behind. If other people's houses are for sale, buy it. Our store can be chosen by the Wang mansion. There will be a lot of people coming to eat. Now the store can't fit all of them. We can't let everyone directly take back to eat, right? Let me go. Zhang Yi didn't react for a while. He pointed at himself and asked in disbelief. "What? Just now you said that your head was fine. Is it hurting again? I asked you to do some work and you want to shirk. Tell me, do you only want to eat white rice every day? Ah. If you're like this, the store can't afford to feed you. You'd better take your salary and leave as soon as possible. I'll find another diligent one. It's not easy to find a 3-legged toad in this world." Zhang Yi only asked a question, but he was bombarded by Wang Wan's words. Zhang Yi wanted to interrupt several times, but he didn't have a chance. When Wang Wan was thirsty and looking for water to drink, Zhang Yi found an opportunity and said, "Boss, that's not what I mean. I'm happy. I'll go. I'll definitely build a good relationship with them. Then our store can become bigger and earn more money. If you're happy and give me a higher salary, Let's not talk about the salary first. Go, pay attention when you speak. Don't say anything. If you make people unhappy, you don't have to come back." When Wang Wan heard Zhang Yi mention the salary, she immediately waved her hand impatiently. It could be said that Zhang Yi couldn't ask for more. After nodding repeatedly, he picked up the things and followed the servants back. In fact, he didn't need to know the way. The main thing was that he could talk to the other party and sell the things in the store to them in the future. The way, in fact, referred to the connections. Watching Zhang Yi leave, Wang Gang looked at Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao in surprise. It was his effort to deliver the things to the Wang mansion. He had planned to have an excuse to go there at any time in the future. He didn't expect that he would give the opportunity to Zhang Yi. Didn't the boss say that he was in charge of the arrangements of the shop staff? Why did he interfere? If Zhang Yi went over and found out more information, or even if it was like what Zhang Nan had analyzed this morning, that there was someone in the Wang Fu waiting for him, then the other side would know the situation in the Wang Fu. While Wang Gang was thinking, Zhang Yu came to his side and whispered in his ear, "You have to think of a way to keep an eye on them. If the other party has people in the mansion, you must catch them. Otherwise, if they hide in the mansion, it will be a disaster." Hearing Zhang Yu's words, Wang Gang suddenly shivered. He didn't think of this. Under the situation of inertia, he was only thinking about how to defend. He didn't expect that there would be a way to lure the snake out of its hole. Yes, give Zhang Yi and the others a chance. In this way, the boss's casual arrangement had a very big effect. It was really like what Zhang Nan and Zhang Yu said on the way here that they had talked about last night. When the boss did things, he always made the three of them feel very comfortable. Coincidence? Was it really just a coincidence? That was too much of a coincidence. With this thought in mind, Wang Gang turned his head to observe the two bosses. Yes, Brother Zhang was still the same. When he saw a customer coming, he would look over and smile. The female boss was still behind the counter, counting the change. Then, she would place the change one by one on the counter. Her eyes, however, would occasionally look at the few tables where people were eating. If someone took the food, she would immediately take note of it. Wang Gang thought in his heart, but didn't find anything different. The only difference was that the two bosses were literate, but their handwriting was not very good. The female boss was even left-handed, which looked awkward. For the time being, I will take it as a coincidence. In the future, I will have to observe more. If it is another group of people, because of my negligence, I can't afford to take the blame. Wang Gang thought about it for a while and then went to add more things to the shelves. Zhang Yu also followed suit. Not long after, Zhang Yi came back. As soon as he came back, he took out a few coins, all of which were 1 copper coin. He smiled and went to the counter, put them one by one on the counter, and said to Wang Wan, "Boss, I am back. This is the reward, a total of 9 copper coins. Please count it." Wang Wan looked at the 9 copper coins and was speechless. He was not Kong E.G., so why did he have to do this? But she still carefully counted them one by one, and then put them together. After thinking for a while, she reluctantly took down a coin that looked a bit old and put it on the counter. She pushed it in front of Zhang Yi with one finger and said, "This is for you. Normally, I would give you 1 coin for 10 coins. Today is the first time, so I'll give you a bargain." "Thank you, boss. I will work hard in the future and not cause trouble for you." Zhang Yi was so grateful that he was about to cry. He took the coin and held it tightly in his hand. He really wanted to cry. This job was not easy, and it was only 1 copper coin. Was there a need to be so reluctant? What if he didn't take it out? Then, wouldn't he earn 9 copper coins? The most infuriating thing was that he had to pretend to be happy, and grateful for the 1 copper coin. Zhang Yu and Wang Gang looked at the boss and Zhang Yi's actions and wanted to laugh heartily. When all the unusual things had returned to their normal daily lives, something even more unusual finally happened. At noon, there were even more customers in the restaurant. Some of them were unwilling to take their food away and just stood in the restaurant, eating and drinking, just like Xian Heng's restaurant described in the book. It was a good situation, but someone suddenly appeared and broke the peace of the restaurant. Jiang Wang clan came in person with a group of guards and the inner courtyard. However, She did not let Wang Shi come with her. She missed her son. She always felt that it was better for her son and daughter-in-law to eat and wear good clothes at home than to run a small restaurant outside. Moreover, they had to smile to others. Although she knew that her son and daughter-in-law had their own plans, since it was right in front of her, she might as well take a look. As for why she did not bring Wang Shi, it was naturally because she was afraid that Wang Shi would not be able to control her expression and be discovered by others. If that happened, wouldn't her son and daughter-in-law's plan be in vain? When the Jiang Wang clan arrived, the entire restaurant was in an uproar. Wang Gang's eyes widened in shock and fear. He glanced around and felt that everyone in the restaurant was a threat to the master's wife, especially Zhang Yi. A few guards squeezed in first, followed by 2 servant girls, and then Jiang Wang clan. When Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan saw that their mother had arrived, they looked at each other. Zhang Xiaobao immediately smiled and said, "Hee, the noble is here. Even the walls of this small restaurant are glowing. Oh, you are the one who made the buns for me? Not bad. I heard that you are good-looking and have a good personality. Needless to say, you are all ordinary people. I am here to see for myself. Is there still a table for us to eat?" The Jiang Wang clan acted as if it was the first time she had seen Zhang Xiaobao. She carefully sized him up and said casually. With a hua sound, everyone who was sitting down and eating immediately stood up. They all looked very respectful. Wang Gang directly looked at the table of his own people and quickly went over to clean up the table. As he cleaned up, he thanked them, Thank you. Then the 3 of you can only stand and eat." However, the people at the other tables were not willing. They all said that they should stand up and eat by themselves. It was as if it was an honor for the Jiang Wang clan to occupy their table. None of the other people felt that there was anything wrong with giving up their table for the Jiang Wang clan. It had nothing to do with the status of the Jiang Wang clan. The main thing was that the Jiang Wang clan gave birth to a good son. Everyone felt that with the good things that Xiao Bao had done for Tang Dynasty, his mother, the Jiang Wang clan, should be treated with the same courtesy no matter where she went. From luxurious restaurants to ordinary shops, there should be a table for the Jiang Wang clan. The Jiang Wang clan did not stand on ceremony. She thanked the 2 maids and sat down on the stool. She nodded and smiled at the people around her as a form of greeting. This time, no one continued to sit down. They would rather leave the table empty than sit down. They felt that it was a blasphemy for Tang Dynasty to sit together with the Jiang Wang clan. The Jiang Wang clan had to be treated like this. Moreover, the people who were standing and eating also became vigilant. They stared at each other, afraid that someone would do something to hurt the Jiang Wang clan. Zhang Yu looked at them from the side and sighed. This was what it meant to be prominent. The hearts of the people were not just about how much money a person had. If you had money and status, others might not dare to offend you, but they would definitely not protect you without asking for anything in return. At the most, you could occupy a table and people would not eat and leave. So what if you had money? It was hard to buy money, but I am willing to do so. Wang Gang was very nervous. He looked around and realized that there were 3 people eating at his table. He should not leave his table. When he saw Zhang Yu, he quickly said, Zhang Yu, go and get the dishes. Then, he wanted to ask Zhang Yi to leave the restaurant. It would be better if Zhang Yi stayed outside to welcome the guests. That way it would be less dangerous. Before he could say anything, Wang Wan spoke first. Shi Tu, what are you waiting for? Hurry up, go and make 2 dishes for the noble lady to try. Although our restaurant is small, it is good that we are diligent. Isn't that right, madam? Jiang Wang clan looked at Wang Wan and smiled even more. She nodded and said, Yes, it is good that you are diligent. Haha, come and sit here. Sit here and talk. You are called Shi Tu, right? Just cook a few dishes. After she asked Wang Wan to sit down, Jiang Wang clan was even more relieved. She knew that her son and daughter-in-law were not weak. With Cuckoo by their side, they would be much more stable. The eyes of the 2 maidservants in the inner courtyard flashed with a trace of surprise, but they immediately returned to their normal state. The two of them had already recognized their young master and young lady. Why did these two people who did not know come here to open a restaurant? No wonder the madam wanted to come here personally. It turned out that she missed her son and daughter-in-law. Since the young master and young lady had disguised themselves, the two of them definitely could not show it. They had to cooperate, otherwise it would delay the proper business. Zhang Xiaobao was very fast at cooking. In less than 2 minutes, a plate of vinegar cabbage was ready. He carried it out. Zhang Yi was about to take it when Wang Wan glared at him and said, "Zhang Yi, hurry up and see if there is anything else that others want. The madam is a rich noble. How can she let you do the work? You are just a servant." Zhang Yi secretly cursed in his heart. Didn't he just want to curry favor with the Jiang Wang clan? Humph. Then he thought that if he could kill the Jiang Wang clan at this time, then he would also die. But it would be very helpful to the organization. Unfortunately, at this time, his people did not come to eat. He estimated that he would not be able to get close by himself. It would be good if he was the one to deliver the dishes. But this damned female boss did not give him the chance. Seeing the dishes being carried out, Wang Gang wanted to eat, but he was also glared at by Wang Wan, so he did not dare to make a sound. Zhang Xiaobao directly put the dishes in front of his mother and said with a smile, "You eat. Hee, the cabbage is left over from last time. We are not willing to eat it. Try it, I will make the next dish for you." "Good, make another one. I can't finish it if there is too much. It would be a waste to throw it away." Jiang Wang clan narrowed her eyes and said to Zhang Xiaobao. She picked up the chopsticks and was about to eat. At this time, one of the two maids quickly stopped her. "Madam, let this servant try first, this dish. It's fine. Looking at Shi, I know that he is not a bad person. And this girl, one look and I know that she is from the Tang Empire. How could a Tang Empire citizen harm me, right?" Jiang Wang clan seemed to be asking everyone. "Yes." The voices that were not very uniform echoed in the room. The maid pretended to be very embarrassed and hesitated. When she saw that Jiang Wang clan took a bite, she picked up the chopsticks and also took a bite. She meant that if they were going to die, they would die together. The other maid did not need to be too excessive. She said to Jiang Wang clan, "Madam, why don't this servant go to the counter and help with the bookkeeping? What do you think?" Okay. After Shi is done with the second dish, you can sit there." Jiang Wang clan knew what the maid meant and said. When the maid squeezed her way to the counter and started to do the bookkeeping, Zhang Xiaobao also finished the second dish. He still personally brought it over, said that there was still soup, and turned around and squeezed back. After a while, the soup was also ready. It was a soup with garlic sprouts and eggs. At the same time, he also brought over a piece of cake. He did not bring any seafood as it was not suitable for his mother. The main reason was that Zhang Xiaobao did not have good quality rice. The rice he was eating now was the local rice. The taste was much worse than the rice from the northern part of Hebei province. However, the rice still had seeds. How could it appear in his small restaurant? Jiang Wang clan ate while looking back and forth between Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. She was eating very happily, and the people around also felt hungry. They smelled the dishes. Although it was just 2 simple dishes, they smelled really good. At this time, they realized that the owner of the braised food restaurant not only made delicious braised food, but also cooked stir-fried food. It was just that they did not have the luck to eat it. It was probably because the restaurant was small and busy. Wang Gang stood at the side and also could not squeeze over. He wanted to squeeze in, but was afraid that he would be too obvious and be seen by Zhang Yi. Therefore, he had to stay a few steps away and watch the owner's wife eat there worriedly. He was really worried that the owner would not cook well or put some slow poison in the food. After all, the owner's wife was pregnant. However, he did not know why he saw absolute trust in the owner's eyes. It was as if the food was not made by the people outside, but by her own family. She did not have the slightest doubt. Jiang Wang clan drank a mouthful of soup and stopped. She looked at Zhang Xiaobao and said, "It's delicious." You have to cook more for me in the future. Recently, I always eat the food you cook. Although I pay for it, some things are not easy to buy even if you pay for it. When I came here, I brought some ingredients for you. You can cook as you see fit. There's beef from cows that accidentally died, venison, and some fresh vegetables. Oh, I also brought some chilies for you. If you want to eat them, just cook them. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Madam, there's also the desserts that you made yourself. There are not many people like you, madam. You spend money to buy food, but you still give other things to people. Madam, you are so kind. The servant girl beside her also echoed Jiang Wang clan's words. Zhang Xiaobao immediately became panicked. He rubbed his hands and said with a flattered expression, How can this be? Making a dish is something that should be done. Yes, it should be done, right? The servant girl asked Wang Wan. When Wang Wan heard Zhang Xiaobao, she raised her head and looked at Zhang Xiaobao. She immediately got the hint from the other party's eyes and quickly said, Isn't that so? Madam, we really don't know what to do. You made the food yourself and gave us a lot of ingredients that we can't buy. I've heard of the chilies, but I've never eaten it. I think it's very good, right? There's also good rice. Take everything that is useful. The servant girl said to Wang Wan. Yes, there are so many things. Sure too. You have to do a good job so that madam can have a taste of your cooking. Madam, how about this? Every day at noon, our shop will specially set aside a table for you to eat. You can come and eat at night. What do you think? Wang Wan also seemed to be very embarrassed, so she invited She too. When most of the people around heard Wang Wan's words, they all felt that the owner of the shop didn't know what was good for her. How could the Jiang Wang clan come to eat every day? What if there was danger? However, this shop's business would probably be better in the future. It would be several times or even dozens of times better. Even the Jiang Wang clan came to eat, so it was obvious how good the food in the shop was. They had countless restaurants like Between the Clouds and the Water, Sea and Clouds, Blue Sea and Silver Sand. Chapter 1076. Zhang Yi didn't know what the others were thinking, but he knew that if they succeeded, they would be able to target them and assassinate them. It would be 10,000 times easier than breaking into the Wang mansion. Thus, he joined in the fun and said, Yes, boss is right. Madam, you have to come here often. Wang Gang hated that he couldn't walk behind the female boss and strangle her to death. Coming here once was already so dangerous. How could she come here every day? If she really came here every day, wouldn't others know the rules? Yes, there were countless people in Tang who were willing to protect the Zhang family and Wang family with their lives, but at the same time, there were also people and forces from other places who wanted the two families dead. Especially that Zhang Yi, he was actually trying to instigate them. Wasn't he just looking for an opportunity? The main family's mistress was too much. She had nothing better to do at home. Furthermore, she was pregnant. Why did she have to come here to eat? The Zhang family didn't know about Wang Gang's depression. When she heard Wang Wan's words, she was stunned. She didn't understand why her daughter-in-law wanted her to come here every day. Then, she looked up at her son. Her son also gave her a look of affirmation. That meant that the two of them had already discussed it. It wasn't that she couldn't come here every day. Being able to talk to her son and daughter-in-law would make her feel better. Furthermore, there wouldn't be any danger. Her son and daughter-in-law would definitely be well prepared. Since that was the case, then, okay, come here every day. Then I can eat delicious food every day. Plus, there are many people, so it's more lively. Okay, I'll come over tomorrow night for dinner. I'll also bring you some other things. I have some good cloth, I'll make some clothes for you. Zhang Wangshe cooperated and agreed. Wang Gang was so angry that he almost fainted. What was wrong with the main family's mistress? She was usually very careful. Why did she become so careless when she saw the two bosses today? If something really happened, what would he do? The young master would go crazy. Alright, since she insisted on coming, he had to bring his gun. Even if he was exposed, he had to ensure the safety of the main family's mistress at all times. Damn the female boss, when this was over, I asked you to open the restaurant. Do you value money more than your life? Jiang Wang clan agreed and continued to eat. Occasionally, she would chat with her son and daughter-in-law. Zhang Xiaobao also cooperated and told his mother about the common folk stories. Wang Wan helped to fill in the gaps. She even told them about the local customs and other interesting things that happened in their hometown before they came to Hangzhou. He spoke in great detail. Even the local dialect names for certain things were not wrong. Occasionally, he would speak in the dialect of that place. Jiang Wang clan listened attentively. She knew that her son and daughter-in-law were not talking nonsense. They must be telling the truth about that place. From time to time, she would ask them if she did not understand. She really did not know, but she knew that her son and daughter-in-law must know, so she never doubted them. Zhang Xiaobao even sang a folk song when he was talking happily. Wang Wan also sang a little tune. No one thought that there was anything wrong. However, the eyes of the servant girl sitting there were full of worship. She knew very well where the young master and young lady were from. But when she looked at the servant, the spy Wang Gang, and then compared the young master and young lady, she could immediately judge who was superior. The young master and young lady were the best spies. Yes. They stood at the peak of the system. Even the spies in her family could not recognize them. If she had not been in contact with them all the time, she would not have recognized them at first glance. Humph. You dare to stare? When the servant girl saw Wang Gang glaring at Wang Wan, she thought unhappily, if it weren't for the fact that you spies are always controlled by others and can't get any useful information, what's the use of keeping you around in Hangzhou when there are so many people from the other side who can't find out about it? If you had some ability, why would the young master and young lady have to do it personally? In the past few days, when you found some clues, you didn't know what to do. Isn't it because the young master and young lady helped you? Trash, every one of you is an idiot. Wang Gang was staring at Wang Wan when he suddenly felt a gaze from the side. He turned his head and saw the servant girl from the inner courtyard staring at him. He was puzzled for a moment. What do you mean? Why are you staring at me? I didn't ask the boss to say so, and I didn't ask the mistress to agree. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't have the right to take charge of the store. If I did, I could help the boss decide things at this time, just like the inner courtyard at a critical moment. But, is this my fault? Don't I want to be in charge? I have 3 people here, and the other side is only 1 person. But, it's the 4 of us who are so smart pretending to be servants, and we are actually being led around by the boss in a mess. What can I do? Until now, I still haven't figured out what's going on. The 4 of us elites are working for free in this store. I'm still in a daze. It seems that everything is coincidental, but it also seems that everything is strange. You're still glaring at me. Do you know how sullen I am? It's also the first time I've encountered such a situation. It's really too difficult. Everything depends on the boss's mood, otherwise, we won't be able to achieve the desired effect. Fortunately, the boss has created a lot of opportunities for us in the past 2 days. Now, there are already 3 lines that we can grasp. It's fine as long as we keep an eye on them. It's not easy for me to receive such a mission, and even have such a boss. When I go back and summarize it, it can be used as a textbook. Wang Gang thought about this matter and returned the servant girl an aggrieved look, hoping that the servant girl could understand him. When the servant girl saw Wang Gang's expression, she became even angrier. You're aggrieved? The mistress even has to pretend not to know her own son. Isn't she aggrieved? I followed them here and had to cooperate with them. I clearly know that the young master's dishes aren't dangerous, but I still have to eat them to test for poison. I still want to say something intimate to the young mistress. Isn't I aggrieved? In order to hide their true identity, the young master and young mistress even specially learned to make up all kinds of things, including the environment, products, and even folk songs. Isn't it better to use this time to do something else? Aren't they aggrieved? The 2 people exchanged glances. Other than Wang Wan, who was sitting at the table and could see it, no one else noticed. When she saw the different expressions of the servant girl and the spy, Wang Wan almost laughed out loud. She quickly turned her head and continued to talk with the Jiang Wang clan. The meal lasted for a full hour. In the end, when the dishes were cold, Madame Zhang stopped eating. She sat there and chatted for a long time. At this time, none of the people eating in the room left, and the people outside also couldn't squeeze in. When the Jiang Wang clan finished talking and got up to leave, the room was empty. The people outside came in one after another to eat, and from time to time, they would ask the waiter about what happened earlier. Wang Gang was not in a good mood. When others asked him, his answer was very simple. However, Zhang Yi was very happy. He didn't find it troublesome to repeat it over and over again. Especially when he said that the Jiang Wang clan would come to eat every day in the future, he was in a state of excitement. Zhang Yi was worried and happy at the same time. She was worried that the Jiang Wang clan would be in danger. She was happy that she could see the Jiang Wang clan more in the future. This was a legendary figure. Her children were all very good. Maybe she could get lucky. At dusk, Zhang Nan came back. He already knew what happened here. He was carrying 4 big fish, but he was frowning and looked very unhappy. He was also worried that the Jiang Wang clan would be in danger. On the way, he had already asked his people to arrange the security. What he meant was that in the future, even if it was only his people who came to eat every day, he wouldn't let anyone else in. He would wait for the Jiang Wang clan. As long as the Jiang Wang clan came, he would be able to protect them. Xiao Nan, you're back? Oh, there's a lot of fish today. Good, I'll ask She Tu to make fish for you. This time, it's steamed. Let me tell you a piece of good news. That is, do you know the Zhang clan and the Wang clan? The madam of the main family came today. That madam is very beautiful. When you see her, you feel close to her. She also brought us a lot of food. Oh, and snacks. She made them herself. Most people don't even dare to think about it. Today, I'll reward each of you with a small piece. Huh? Xiao Nan, why do you look so pale? Are you unhappy? When Wang Wan saw Zhang Nan, she was in a very good mood and started to talk to him. Zhang Nan squeezed out a smile and rubbed his face with one hand. He replied, I'm happy. Today, the wind by the lake is very strong. My face is uncomfortable. Boss, when the madam of the Zhang family comes in the future, can you let me be close to receive her? No, they are rich people. Why would a servant like you be close to them? Speaking of receiving them, we have to do the job of protection first. Then, this matter will be handled by Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi, can you do it? Wang Wan rejected Zhang Nan's proposal, but gave another important task to Zhang Yi. When Zhang Yi heard Wang Wan's words, he was so happy that he couldn't go over and kiss his boss. This was like someone giving him a pillow when he was sleepy. In his excitement, he nodded repeatedly and said, Okay, I'll do whatever boss wants me to do. I promise to do it well. Boss, don't worry. I'll personally design and arrange the place for protection. Boss, I also want to participate. Zhang Nan strongly requested. No, Xiao Yi alone is enough. And we don't need to trouble Xiao Yi to design. Xiao Yi will only help to arrange. Stone and I will design. You won't be able to guess. Stone and I are very good at this. I remember when we were young, we played hide and seek in the village. Stone and I cooperated and chose a good place. No one could find us. It was easy for us to find them. Let me tell you, when it comes to safety, there is no better way to be safe than hide and seek. At that time, Wang Wan insisted on letting Zhang Yi do the work. She also talked incoherently about the things in the past. No one could tell if she was telling the truth or not. Anyway, it was something that happened when she was young. In order not to arouse Zhang Yi's suspicion, Zhang Nan didn't continue to ask. Instead he said, That's good. Big brother, you did a good job. Yes, big brother, you did a great job this time. Tell us about the arrangement when the time comes. Wang Gang also said. Big brother, do you need my help? I don't have a problem carrying things. Zhang Yu asked. Zhang Yi kept waving his hand. I can do it by myself. And I can't tell you. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that if one of you accidentally let the bad guys hurt Mrs. Wang, it won't be good. Go back to your work. Zhang Xiaobao came out from the kitchen behind and said in a silly voice, You don't want to cook today, right? Close the door early so that it's easy to arrange. Yes, we don't want to cook. Our stone is so smart. There will be more people in the future. Even the madam of the Zhang family is here. You can see how good our stone's cooking is. Guys, hurry up and eat. After you finish eating, we will close the door and arrange the protective arrangement. Sorry, your money is free this year. What Wang Wan meant was for the diners to leave as soon as possible. The diners were reasonable. They didn't continue to chat. They finished the food as quickly as possible, wiped their mouths, and left with thanks. No one was allowed to come in even if they wanted to. After the door was closed and the latch was locked, there were only 6 people left in the room. The 3 of you, clean up the table and go to the back to wash the dishes. Zhang Yi, come with us and empty the utility room. In the future, when Mrs. Zhang comes, let her eat there. It's close to the back door. If there is any danger, just run from the back. Wang Wan ordered the other 3 to do the work. She asked Zhang Yi to go to the utility room alone to move things. There were also many things sent by the Jiang Wang clan that needed to be arranged. Especially the beef. When it was sent, it was frozen and wrapped in thick layers of quilts. It had to be placed in a dark and cold place. Otherwise, it would spoil in a few days. After a busy day, Zhang Yi was as tired as a dog. Finally, he moved the things out of the utility room. Wang Wan then said to Zhang Yi, Listen to me. Tomorrow morning, I will ask them to buy things. You arrange it. Don't put a table near the back door. Leave it empty so that it's convenient to run. The door that was connected to the front hall had to be covered with a gauze curtain so that people couldn't see the situation inside from the outside. A scarecrow had to be put on clothes and placed beside the table. Even if someone wanted to make a move, they would think that it was a scarecrow through the gauze. The table is not allowed to face the door directly. That is to say, when people are outside, they have to look at the corner of the table diagonally. The wall next to the bedroom was originally made of wood. Saw the wood and turned it into a hidden door. When Mrs. Zhang comes, if there is anything you want to put in a safe place, put it in the bedroom. If there is danger, you can go into the bedroom. The kitchen is on the other side of the bedroom. Wang Wan said one by one. Zhang Yi excitedly memorized one by one. When she finished, Wang Wan asked, Did you memorize everything? Boss, I've memorized everything. Don't worry. I promise I'll do it well. I'll go buy those things. Zhang Yi asked. No need. Someone else can do it. You're too tired. You have to work. Take care of yourself. Okay, go. Wang Wan waved her hand. When Zhang Yi left happily, Wang Wan looked at Zhang Xiaobao. They looked at each other and smiled. Chapter 1077. Less than a minute after Zhang Yi left, the 3 people who were working in the kitchen also came out. In fact, they had finished their work long ago, but they had been waiting for Zhang Yi. When the 3 of them were in the kitchen, they had already discussed that they would start to monitor Zhang Yi more closely, to the point where they could not leave him at all. Even when Zhang Yi went to the toilet, they would secretly monitor him. At the same time, they would strengthen the security around the restaurant. They must not let Jiang Wang clan be in danger. When the 3 of them came out of the kitchen, it could be seen from the expression on their faces that they were not in a good mood. Especially when facing Wang Wan, the female boss, they seemed to lack some of the respect they had before. Brother Zhang, we're going back. Wang Gang said and planned to leave with Zhang Nan and Zhang Yu. They still had to catch up with Zhang Yi and keep an eye on him. However, when they were about to leave, Wang Wan stopped the 3 of them and said to them, What's the rush? There's still work to be done. It's good that you three finish it together. Boss, what else is there to be done? Didn't we finish it already? The three of us are tired, Zhang Yu said with slight dissatisfaction. If I say there's work, then there's work. Tired? It's good that you're tired. Whoever is tired, pay your wages now. Tonight, find a place to sleep. This restaurant doesn't keep idle people. Follow me to the counter. Wang Wan glared at him and immediately walked to the counter, indicating that she was really going to fire him. Zhang Yu immediately regretted and panicked. He quickly said, Boss, I'll tell you later. I won't do it again in the future. Please don't dismiss me. I'm still waiting for this restaurant to become a big one. I'll be the hero. Wang Gang also persuaded, Boss, Xiao Yu is carrying things back and forth. It's not that she doesn't want to work. Why don't you let her go back first? Zhang Nan and I will finish the work. We will definitely do it well. Remember, I don't care if you're tired or not. Whatever I say is right. How dare you talk back to me? Is this how you act? All of you look like someone owes you money. As a worker, it's not right to show your emotions on your face. This is called not being professional. Is it so easy to be a worker? As a qualified and excellent worker, the first thing he had to do was not to reveal any of his inner thoughts to others. Even if he was full of anger, he had to show a sincere smile when facing customers. Even if the customers rewarded him, no matter how little the reward was, he had to show that he was flattered. Even if it was hard and tiring, he had to think about his purpose of being a waiter and persevere through it. Look at yourselves, what have you all become? I asked you to do something in the kitchen. What was the expression on your face when you came out? What would I, the owner, think? Humph. Wang Wan put her hands on her waist and scolded the three people. Wang Gang and the other two were anxious. Zhang Yi had already left for a while, who knew where he would go. However, he didn't dare to ignore the owner and go back to keep an eye on Zhang Yi. Otherwise, he wouldn't even have the chance to stay in the shop. The three of them were so anxious that they were sweating, but they had no choice but to hold it in. At this time, Zhang Xiaobao also chimed in, Yes. Madam is right. Look at the three of you. Just a little something in your heart reveals itself. It's obvious that something is wrong with you guys. What's there to be afraid of when you encounter difficulties? Who doesn't have difficulties? Isn't that right? You have to be calm. As a waiter, no matter what kind of customers you face, you have to make them unable to see your true thoughts. When the customers find fault with you, even if you don't care, you have to pretend that you know you're wrong. Calm down, you have to be calm, or you'll easily delay things. Just like your brother Zhang, I also have my difficulties. Since I started working, how could it be smooth sailing? However, I've persevered. Don't you think so? Yes, brother Zhang, you're right. Then what do we do now? Zhang Yu is indeed tired after moving things. Why don't I work with Wang Gang and let Xiao Yu go back first? Zhang Nan tried to suppress his anxiety and continued Zhang Xiaobao's words. Zhang Yu's brows furrowed as she thought to herself, how can your difficulties be compared to ours? You're a cook. No matter how difficult your difficulties are, it's just less money. What about us? Why are you leaving? I didn't ask you to work immediately. Listen to your brother Zhang, I think you don't want to be a good waiter anymore. You want to go out and work on your own? Let me tell you, although you've stayed in the restaurant for a few days, in fact, you haven't learned anything. A waiter who can't control his emotions is not a good waiter. Wang Wan stared at them and refused to let them go no matter what. Zhang Xiaobao nodded to Wang Wan and said to the three people, in the past, I also opened other small restaurants. I also cooked and stir-fried dishes. At that time, the restaurant was twice as big as now. Stir-fried dishes are not as good as braised dishes. You know my cooking skills. There were many people who ate there. At that time, I was very busy. All kinds of shouts from the people eating outside never stopped. Some customers even thought that I was slow in serving the dishes. They were angry and threatened to smash my restaurant if I didn't serve the dishes quickly. However, even at that time, I didn't panic. I knew that I couldn't be distracted when I was cooking. As long as the dishes were cooked well, the customer's anxiety was another kind of praise for me. If I didn't calm down and put the wrong seasoning or too much salt, it would destroy the restaurant's reputation. Even if the customers wanted to shout, I still had to prepare every dish well. That was because I believed that no customer would be able to destroy my restaurant. At that time, I had a waiter. I believed that my waiter would be able to deal with this kind of situation. When I couldn't personally go out, a good waiter would be able to do the job properly. Believe in your own friends and calm yourself down. Sometimes, a crisis can be an opportunity. Don't think that you can do everything by yourself, understand? After saying this, Zhang Xiaobao didn't say anything. He went to get some tea leaves and put them on the table. At the same time, he went to warm some wine and went to the kitchen to cook a spicy chicken. During the process, the three people found a place to sit down and began to think about things. Zhang Nan, especially, felt that the boss's words didn't seem to be about the restaurant. Right, he had arranged people to watch Zhang Yi outside. Why were the three of them anxious? Did he not trust the people outside? He was indeed not calm enough today. He actually let his emotions out and let the two bosses notice. As a spy, he should be more cautious at the more critical moment. What happened today? A crisis can be an opportunity? Yes. It seemed to be true. When Zhang Xiaobao put the fried chicken on the table, the three people suddenly recovered. They looked at each other and saw the surprised look in the eyes of the other two people. Fortunately, they were in the restaurant. If they were elsewhere, they might be exposed. In that case, not only would their lives be in danger, but it would also ruin their plan. It seemed that every little bit was knowledge. They didn't expect that this simple and honest boss could say such profound words. Zhang Xiaobao laughed and said to the three people, "Eat. My wife and I will eat later. These dishes are specially made for you. You drink some wine and I will drink some tea. After eating, there is still work for you to do. What are you afraid of being tired? Since you have chosen this industry, you should do it seriously and find pleasure in it, not treat it as a burden. Being anxious won't solve the problem. When it's time to be steady, you must be steady." Many times, because of the panic of the staff, the business in the restaurant is not good. Don't think about it blindly. It's not easy to be a good staff. Drink. While speaking, Zhang Xiaobao personally poured a bowl of rice wine for the three people. The three people came back to their senses and looked at the dish. They exclaimed at the same time, "Spicy diced chicken? Brother Zhang, what are you?" Wang Gang asked in surprise. He knew this dish and had eaten it. It was a benefit given by the boss. But the chili was just sent by the boss's wife today. How could the boss make it immediately? "I made it specially for the three of you. The chili was just sent here. I want you to taste it first. When the wife of the Wang mansion comes tomorrow, I will make it." Zhang Xiaobao said and gestured to the three people to eat. Wang Gang first picked up a piece of carrot and put it in his mouth. After chewing twice, his eyes lit up and he asked, "Brother Zhang, how can you make this dish?" Zhang Nan and Zhang Yu also nodded. They had also eaten it, and had even eaten several other dishes with chili. But they couldn't figure out why the boss of this small restaurant could also make it. "Haha, I haven't eaten pork, but I have seen pigs run. There are no dishes made with chili in other places, but the restaurant between the clouds and the water has it. I heard from the people who have eaten there, so I remembered it. Just now, I made it according to the method of others. What do you think of it?" Zhang Xiaobao chuckled and explained why he could make this dish. Good, very good. Brother Zhang, your culinary skills are excellent. But Brother Zhang, the madam of the prince's mansion is coming tomorrow. We can't cook anything too spicy. That madam is pregnant. If the spicy food causes problems, we can't afford to take the blame. Wang Gang took a sip of wine and said to Zhang Xiaobao. Zhang Xiaobao nodded and said, "I know. Chili is spicy, but I can make chili into chili oil. Chili oil is not so spicy, and it is fragrant. If you put a little chili oil in the dishes, it can improve the taste. Don't think too much. Eat. After eating, clean up the room. Zhu Yi has already cleaned it once. After saying that, Zhang Xiaobao didn't accompany them. He came to the counter with the teacup and whispered to Wang Wan in a low voice. Wang Gang and the other two didn't stand on ceremony. Chili was not something that could be eaten at any time. It was a good thing. They drank wine and ate at the same time. When they finished eating, all of them were sweating because of the spiciness. They opened their mouths and exhaled, but the spiciness was very comfortable. It seemed that they hadn't felt so comfortable for a long time. After sweating and drinking wine, the three of them felt much better. They temporarily forgot about their previous worries and became more energetic. They looked at each other and realized that there was really no need to be so anxious. Brother Zhang, we are done eating. Your cooking is really good. Why don't you also sell stir-fried dishes in the future? I believe that it won't be long before this small shop becomes a restaurant. With your skills, it definitely won't be a problem. Zhang Yu wiped her mouth and said to Zhang Xiaobao. Zhang Xiaobao shook his head and said, "How can I have the time? I'm too busy with work." After eating, throw the food in the kitchen and come back to work. Wang Wan also came out from the counter with a piece of paper in her hand. She drew it when she was whispering to Zhang Xiaobao just now. An empty plate and 3 wine bowls. It was enough for one person to bring it to the kitchen and wash it clean directly. Therefore, the three of them followed Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao to the storage room. They wanted to see how to arrange it. This was related to the safety of the Jiang Wang clan. I have already told Zhu Yi how to arrange it. But after thinking about it, it's not perfect enough. It's good that you guys stay here and continue to perfect it. Let me first tell you the arrangement I told Zhu Yi. Wang Wan began to explain the matter to the three of them. When she finished, she saw that the three of them had a look of understanding. She continued, "But this is still not enough. There is only one door that leads directly to the outside. So, She Tu and I plan to make a hole in the wall and make it into 2 doors. We will go look for water and tools." When the three of them heard this, they nodded repeatedly and split up to look for tools. They also brought a bucket of water. Because the wall was made of mud, they couldn't directly smash a hole in it with a hammer. If they really smashed it directly, it would be easy to smash the entire front wall. So, they needed to use water to moisten the wall little by little. Then, they would use other things to scrape a hole in the front wall. When they were done, 2 hours had passed. Wang Wan still didn't intend to let the three of them go back. She took the three of them outside. Under the light of the stars and the moon, she pointed at the firewood behind them and said to the three of them, "Set up some torches. Go make a few torches, then move the firewood to the new door so that people won't be able to tell that there's a door here. That way, it'll be safer. The three of you, remember not to tell anyone. If I find out that you told anyone, I won't forgive you." Zhang Yu sighed in his heart. He was very helpless. He wanted to tell his boss that the three of them didn't have to say anything, but there was one person who would definitely tell. But he couldn't say it out loud. The three of them began to move the firewood again. When the firewood was moved, the sky was already bright. The three of them were very tired. They were thinking about how to spend the day. "Okay, that's all for today. Go back and wash up and sleep. We won't open the door during the day tomorrow. You can come back in the afternoon. Go back and tell Zhu Yi. This is a last-minute decision. I will write a notice and post it at the door. You can go back." Wang Wan finally said something that the three of them liked to hear. They nodded and agreed. In the cool morning, the three of them walked together to the rented courtyard behind them. Seeing them leave, Zhang Xiaobao also seemed to be relaxed. He said to Wang Wan, "I didn't expect my mother to join in the fun. This is good. I think that in a few days, there will be a result. Do it as hard as you can. Act according to our plan." Are you sure that the other party's main figure is in Hangzhou and not in Jiangzhou? Wang Wan still didn't believe Zhang Xiaobao's judgment. There is a high probability that it is because Hangzhou is the most strict place. Li Longji is there, and so are our families. For them, it may be the most dangerous place, but at the same time, it is the safest place. I believe that they are not as good as me. Their anti-reconnaissance ability needs to be improved. Zhang Xiaobao was not very sure, but he still chose to take a gamble. If the gamble was right, everything would be easy. If the gamble was wrong, he would first cut off some of the other party's people. Even if there was no one behind the scenes in Hangzhou, it was still very important to the other party. Wang Gang and the other two people walked on the road. When they were about to reach the courtyard, they very tacitly stopped and stood by the road. They looked at each other and squatted down together, intending to have a good discussion. After a series of changes, the things that they had discussed in the kitchen earlier needed to be rearranged. The restaurant won't be open tomorrow morning. He asked us to go there in the afternoon. I don't think the restaurant will be open immediately in the afternoon. Then, there's only dinner time left. I guess the owner means to specially serve your master's wife this time. It won't be like yesterday when other people are around to let your master's wife eat. Zhang Nan squatted down, found a small wooden stick, and casually drew on the ground as he spoke to Wang Gang. Wang Gang took out an oiled paper bag from his arms and opened it, revealing the cut braised meat inside. He gave a portion to Zhang Yu and Zhang Nan and said, "I took it secretly because I was afraid that I would be hungry. Eating some meat is good for the body. According to what you said, even if Zhang Yi wants to find someone to assassinate him tomorrow, he won't have a chance because no one is allowed to enter the restaurant. But according to the owner's wife, she planned to come to eat every day. The restaurant couldn't just entertain her every day, especially our female owner. She was about to drill her eyes into money. She was willing to put in a lot of effort to earn even a copper coin. Tomorrow is good, but what about the day after tomorrow? As for that room, if Zhang Yi wasn't there, it would be fine. Since he is also a waiter, he naturally knows how to arrange it. Many arrangements to protect the owner's wife are likely to put her in a dangerous situation. We have to arrange our men well, and we can't make any mistakes. Zhang Yi, if we don't want to continue to follow his lead, we would have already caught him. If we catch him now, if he still has a line that hasn't been moved, we will act rashly and alert the enemy. Once he is not in the restaurant, the line that hasn't been moved will have a reaction." Zhang Nan and Zhang Yu nodded after hearing Wang Gang's words. They were also worried about this. It was easy to catch Zhang Yi, but who knew if Zhang Yi had exposed all the lines to contact him? If he still had a line that he hadn't used yet, if they caught him now, the people on the line would find out and move immediately. Maybe there were spies of the opposite party around the tenant's house. They didn't know who was behind the other party and why they were so strict. Fortunately, a small shop suddenly opened, which allowed us to find some clues. They even arranged people in Hangzhou. If it weren't for that shop, we wouldn't have been able to find them. We wouldn't even have guessed that they are definitely not ordinary people. Zhang Yu shook his head in frustration as he spoke. Then he said, "Why don't we tell the owners our identities and let them cooperate with us? Although we seem to have a tacit understanding in the past 2 days, every accident has helped us to do things smoothly. But you see last night, if we didn't arrange people and Zhang Yi went to find other people, what should we do? I'm really afraid that they will delay things at the critical moment." "No, absolutely not," Wang Gang objected. "If we don't tell them now, they will behave normally. After all, they are just ordinary people. Didn't you see that when the owner's wife came over, the two owners were so nervous that their bodies trembled, but they pretended that nothing was wrong? I saw it, and I also heard that Brother Zhang's voice trembled when he sang the folk song. That was definitely not the way a folk song should be sung. And the female owner, when she was talking with the owner's wife, kept wiping the sweat on her leg with one hand. I think she was happy and scared at the same time. As you said, if we really tell them our identities and let them cooperate with us, I think they will immediately give themselves away and be discovered by Zhang Yi. Then the clues will be cut off. Unfortunately, if they were our people, it would be better. In this way, we can cooperate with each other more tacitly and let Zhang Yi be trapped in the trap. Everyone who contacts him can be monitored one by one, and finally when the net is closed, we can catch all of them. I find something, I don't know if you have noticed it, that is, the two owners always have a hidden meaning in their words, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It seems that they know our identities. For example, today, when we were anxious, they told us to be calm, to trust our partners, and to be professional. Don't show your thoughts on your face. Although they said that we are partners, why do I think they are talking about our other identities? Zhang Nan also agreed with Wang Gang's statement, but also expressed the doubts in his heart. When Zhang Yu heard this, he laughed and said, "How is that possible? Our identities, before, we couldn't even guess who the other party was. I thought the two of you were just normal partners, and Zhang Yi. It was the people behind us who helped us to investigate each other, and then we contacted each other. I didn't see the two owners have any other contact with anyone else. And today, I heard them say that where they were originally staying, I think our people should have gone to investigate. If there was a problem, they would have told us, but no one came to us, which means that their identities are real, and it is in line with what they said. If there is still a problem, it can only mean that they are better than us, and they are acting like it is real. But is that possible? Although the professional training I received is not as good as the two of you, I am much more confident than others. Look at the two owners. How can their acting skills be so good? Anyway, I don't believe it. The most important thing is, what is their purpose? Think about it. Wang Gang fell into deep thought. Indeed, as Zhang Yu had said, he had received the most systematic and professional training. If he still couldn't tell whether the two masters were in disguise or not, then wouldn't he have wasted all his time learning? And as Zhang Yu said, what was their purpose? If the two owners' acting skills were really good to a certain extent, they must have their own purpose. Which side were they on? If they were on Zhang Yi's side, Zhang Yi wouldn't be in such a bad situation, and they wouldn't be able to drive Zhang Yu away. If their acting skills were so good, they would definitely be able to see through the identities of the three of them, or make a rough guess. But if they were on the side of the three of them, why did they give Zhang Yi so many chances? They should have cooperated with the three of them and then made things clear. But obviously, that was not the case. If they really treated the two masters as some kind of power, with their ability to pretend, the situation that appeared in this period of time was very contradictory. As such, they concluded that it was impossible for a new powerful organization to appear in this world. Even Zhang Yi's people were not powerful enough. At the very least, they had found out that the two masters were from a certain faction. This faction could directly contend against the Zhang and Wang clans, or even surpass them. This was because they could not find anything wrong with it. Zhang Nan thought the same and then asked, "Then tell me, why were the five of them beaten that day? Who beat them?" Zhang Yu shook his head. "I don't know, and I can't guess. If you ask me, maybe it was Zhang Yi's people who beat them themselves. The three of us didn't do anything, but the two owners were so scared that one hid in the kitchen and didn't come out, and the other only knew how to shout at the door. After we investigated, we found that the two owners didn't interact with others, so it was impossible that there was someone protecting them all the time. According to what you said, are Zhang Yi and the rest idiots? If no one was beaten, how could we have targeted them? Would they have exposed themselves? Don't they know how dangerous it is to do that?" Zhang Nan asked. "Zhang Yi hasn't guessed our identity yet. He only has a little suspicion. Maybe that day they were testing us. If we directly went to catch them, their other people on the line would have confirmed our identity. We are different from Zhang Yi and the rest. Our purpose is different. They want to enter the Wang family, but we are specifically to catch them. Their target is not us, so if we have a loophole, we have to make up for it as soon as possible. For example, why are we still working in the restaurant when we don't get paid?" Zhang Yu thought of this problem as he spoke. "Because we want to steal the recipe to make the braised food. Let's not think about the five of them being beaten in the back. Just treat it as Zhang Yi and the rest testing us. When we go back, we can talk in a low voice about how to steal the recipe. Let Zhang Yi hear it, and even let him participate. Then we have another purpose now, and that is to get in touch with the Wang family. Then we will meet a noble person and give ourselves a better chance. Maybe we can enter the Zhang family and the Wang family, right? Wang Gang said his idea, and the other two nodded in agreement. Let's go back. We don't know how Zhang Yi is sleeping. Let's not rush. When he gets up and gets dressed, we will tell him that he doesn't need to go there anymore. Then we will disrupt his plan and make him feel uncomfortable. Yes, we'll tell him that the boss said to let him get up and tidy up the yard, water the vegetables, tidy up the other 2 rooms, and open the pickles to see if there's anything spoiled. In any case, we'll give him work to do. We'll let him work hard to finish the work in the afternoon, so that he won't have to do other things. When they stood up and walked to the courtyard, Zhang Nan also provided a good idea. According to the 3 people, Zhang Yi didn't sleep well. He basically didn't sleep the whole night. He wanted to leave the courtyard and get in touch with his people, but he didn't know when the other 3 people would come back. If he delayed for too long, the 3 people would tell the boss, and the boss would think that he had other purposes. So Zhang Yi waited, waiting for the 3 of them to come back. But no matter how long he waited, they still didn't come back. Even when he was tired from waiting, he still couldn't sleep soundly. He wondered if the boss had arranged something important for the 3 of them again, or if it was time to discuss their plans after Madame Zhang came back. In the end, under such circumstances, Zhang Yi became more and more tired. He thought that it would be better not to come back. Instead, he stayed in the shop and see what kind of work the boss had arranged for the 3 of them. When the light from outside faintly shone in through the paper window, Zhang Yi was still lying on the bed with red eyes. With the weak light, he looked at the empty bed and muttered, "It's going to be dawn soon. Where are the 3 of them? Did they stay in the shop to sleep? Or did the boss arrange something important for them? They should come back soon. If they don't come back, I will have to get up. The time is coming. They come to eat in the restaurant. As long as they allow others to eat in the restaurant, there must be a way to assassinate them. If one person from the Zhang family and the Wang family dies, there will be chaos. And Li Longji is also in Hangzhou. He must be very angry. If the people from the Zhang family and the Wang family can be assassinated, he must feel that he is also not safe. Either he left, or he sent a lot of people to investigate. He is afraid that they are too stable and there is no chance to kill them. It's better for them to be in chaos. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Zhang Yi muttered to himself. Thinking of what would happen in the future, he couldn't help laughing. Big brother, what are you so happy about? We heard it outside. Tell us, so we can be happy too. When Zhang Yi stopped laughing, Zhang Yu's voice came from outside. This movement scared Zhang Yi and made him sweat. He secretly said that he should be more careful. Judging from the boss's words and the reaction of the 3 people, they should be loyal to the Tang Empire. If he said something wrong and it was heard by them, they would definitely report him to the government. After warning himself in his heart, Zhang Yi said to the 3 people who just came in, "Nothing. I was sleeping and dreaming. I dreamed about something interesting, so I woke up with a laugh." "You just came back? Did the boss ask you to work again?" "Well, this shop is not easy to work in. I have thought about it. I will be a waiter for a few more days. If the salary is not increased and the boss doesn't let us rest well, I will not work in the shop." "What about you?" The 3 people didn't care about Zhang Yi's words at all. They knew that Zhang Yi would not quit. Zhang Yu replied, "Me? I still want to continue working in the shop, even if I don't get paid. We were busy over there today, and I saw a few ingredients in the gauze bag that Brother Zhang put in the pot. Brother Zhang didn't hide it from me. I want to perform well. If Brother Zhang likes me and accepts me as his disciple, I can make delicious braised food. Which disciple will accept a salary? It's just that the master is happy and gives me some pocket money. When I learn the skills, the money I earn will be much more than the salary." After explaining the purpose of his stay, Zhang Yu asked Wang Gang and Zhang Nan, "Second brother, third brother, what do you 2 think?" Zhang Nan smiled and said, "It's not easy to do other things. Besides, Brother Zhang should have other things that we haven't seen." Haha, as for me, I will see. I'm sleepy. Wash your face and go to sleep. It's so cold in the morning. Wang Gang didn't answer Zhang Yu, and there was a hint of evasiveness in his eyes. It was obvious that he had his own little plan. The three of them hastily washed their faces, took off their clothes, and lay down on the bed. They were covered with a thick blanket, which was much better than the first day they came to the shop. At that time, they couldn't take off their clothes, and they could feel the cold in the early hours of the morning even with the blanket on. It would take a few more days for them to feel so hot that they couldn't sleep at night. Zhang Yi looked at the three people lying down and then looked at the sky. He was very puzzled. They were still sleeping at this time. When were they going to wake up? Did they not do anything in the shop? He would sleep for a while. If they were still sleeping when he woke up later, he could go directly to the shop and perform. At the same time, he would accept the task of buying gauze. It would be convenient for him to do things. At this time, Zhang Yi, who didn't sleep well the whole night, wanted to sleep for a while. He was afraid that he would fall asleep and delay the business, so he opened his eyes from time to look at the sky. When he felt that it was enough, he sat up uncomfortably and planned to put on his clothes and go out. As soon as he put on his clothes, Zhang Yu, who was sleeping next to him, suddenly opened his eyes and looked at him and asked, "Big brother, what are you going to do?" "Get up and go to work in the shop." Zhang Yi frowned and said. He already knew the answer. "Ah, work. Oh, I just remembered that I was so tired last night. I actually forgot that the shop was closed this morning. The boss said that we should have a good rest. Look at my memory. I just wanted to come back and have a good sleep. The boss also said that you have slept all night. If you wake up, you have to do something. You have to feed the chickens in the yard and see if the grass in the field has grown. If there is grass, you have to hoe it as soon as possible. Also, you have to water the plants." Zhang Yu looked very embarrassed and said to Zhang Yi. The more Zhang Yi listened, the more depressed he was. His original plan was ruined. If he couldn't go to the shop, then he couldn't go out to buy things and he had to work. Hearing that Zhang Yu said so many things, he estimated that he had to be busy all morning. But he was also sleepy. He didn't have a good rest yesterday. If he had to work all morning, how could he deal with other things in the afternoon? This is troublesome. Thinking about this, Zhang Yi gritted his teeth and decided to persist for one more day. He would sleep well at night. If he really couldn't do it, he would stand in the shop and lean against the wall for a while. After agreeing, Zhang Yi went out. At the same time, he was wondering if he could slack off and make the work look okay. Then he could find a place to sleep for a while. Hearing Zhang Yi's heavy footsteps, Zhang Yu chuckled. He covered his head with a blanket and fell into a deep sleep. As for whether Zhang Yi would leave the courtyard while he was working, he was not worried. If he really left, there would naturally be someone watching over him. When the sun rose and it was time for the braised food store to open for business, the people who came to buy saw that the store was still closed. Furthermore, there was a sign with words at the entrance. Those who didn't know how to read immediately went to ask someone about it. In the end, they found out that the sign was to entertain the madams of the Zhang family and the Wang family. The shop was undergoing an internal renovation. It was temporarily closed in the morning. Whether it would open in the afternoon depended on the extent of the renovation. That was the meaning of the sign. The people who came to buy things were helpless, but they could understand the way the shop did things. That was the madam of the Zhang family, Xiao Bao's mother. It was a great honor for them to eat here. How could they not tidy up the place? If it were him, he would have kicked everyone out at noon yesterday. What if there was danger? It seemed that he couldn't eat today. He would wait and see tomorrow. He hoped that he wouldn't only serve one person every day. Although the store was not big, the sudden closure of the business had affected the lives of the people around it. Especially the people who came here to eat every day. They were not used to the change of location when they suddenly couldn't eat. For ordinary people, they could still bear not being able to eat the braised food of this shop. At most, they could go to the soup pancake shop to eat noodles. There were also side dishes and drinks there. It was just a change of place. However, it had a great impact on the people of the fishing association. They were all rich people. Moreover, Zhang Xiaobao always asked the shop assistant to stay there and watch others eat. At the same time, he asked if there was anything lacking. He made some improvements and increased the variety of things in the rolls. It was gradually accepted by the people of the fishing association. They were all used to eating the food made by the shop at noon and in the evening. According to Zhang Xiaobao's words, men were more loyal to the brands they liked. When the people who came to get the rolls in the morning saw that the shop was closed, they wanted to break the door open and ask the people inside to make the rolls. However, they could only think about it and didn't dare to do so. Because the shop assistant had a good reason, they had no choice but to go back and report it. Wang Ju had been living a good life recently. He followed the emperor to fish every day. Sometimes he fished in the lake, and sometimes he fished in the river. He had used all kinds of fishing tools. Even if those tools were not suitable for fishing in these two places, he still used them. The development of the fishing association was getting better and better. From time to time, there would be people who applied to join. After paying a membership fee, they would be able to buy fishing tools and compete with each other to see whose skills were better. Most of the people in the association were rich people. Ordinary people couldn't afford to buy things, let alone the rolls that were necessary to be consumed every day. These rolls were not cheap at all. A roll and the things inside were enough for a few people to live for 3 to 5 days. Moreover, they could still eat meat. In addition to this group of people, Wang Ju also learned a good idea from the inner courtyard of the Zhang family and Wang family. That was to find local people who were good at fishing to join the association. Some of these people were people who made a living by fishing for prawns at night. Some were people who also fished while setting up nets to wait for the fish. Some were even people who were trained by the restaurant between the clouds and the water to accompany customers fishing. The people who were trained by the restaurant between the clouds and the water not only had to be good at fishing, but also had to be discerning. When the customers were fishing, they had to accompany them. Some customers liked to win, so when they were fishing, they had to be a little bit behind the customers, not too far behind. When the customers caught a fish, they had to catch one after a while. When the customers caught 3, they had to have at least 2. When the customers didn't catch one, they naturally had to go back empty-handed. If the customers liked to compete, they had to win and lose sometimes. That way, the customers would find it interesting. It was not good to always let the customers lose, and vice versa. The inner courtyard's idea for Wang Ju was to find such people. Even if they didn't have money, couldn't buy so many fishing tools, and couldn't afford to eat seafood, they still had to join the association and play with the rich. It had just been implemented 3 days, and the effect was very good. This group of people lacked money, but they didn't lack skills, and they liked to study. They didn't need to pay a membership fee, and they only needed to have real fishing skills. At the same time, they were even paid. If the fishing association didn't have a group of people who were really good at fishing, wouldn't it be a joke? They would compare with each other, and then figure out how to use fishing tools. After that, they could communicate with the rich. Wang Ju would provide all their fishing tools for free. Even the fishing tools that they didn't need would be given to them. Most of the fish that they caught every day would also be taken away by them. One reason was to observe where the fish would bite the hook, and the other was to see what kind of bait they ate, so that they could judge how to find the most suitable bait and hook, and then correspond to the corresponding fish species and size. Another reason was that after they finished their research, they could sell the fish or eat it themselves. For them, this was a good job with a high income, and it wasn't too tiring. At the same time, they could also treat it as fun. The rich also liked to fish with them, and at the same time, listen to them talk about the various methods they figured out, and improve their fishing skills together. It was a different kind of fun. With this matter, Wang Ju wanted to organize a large-scale activity to invite all the members of the association to the seaside to fish. It would probably take a day, and they wouldn't be back at night. It would be too tiring to go back and forth. However, going to the seaside didn't mean that they would be able to eat seafood burritos. Those were 2 different things. The ones made by others weren't delicious, so this morning, he ordered someone to go to the braised food shop and buy all the burritos in the shop. He also ordered them to bring enough braised food. If there wasn't enough, he would ask the owner of the shop to stop everything and specially make the burritos. In the end, just as he was waiting for everyone to arrive and set off, the person who went to buy the burritos came back. Seeing the crowd gathered at the entrance of the manor, he walked to Wang Ju and whispered, "Master, the shop isn't open. They said that it's renovating to welcome Madam for dinner tonight. I didn't dare to knock on the door. What do you think?" "What? It's not open? What are we going to eat if they don't open the door?" Wang Ju was stunned and said anxiously, "Then, master, should I knock on the door?" The servant asked for orders. There's no need to knock. Knock on the door and tell them to do it immediately. After they're done, arrange for someone to quickly send it over. Give them more money. It's fine if they have to work harder. I believe they'll be willing to work harder if there's money to be earned." Wang Ju thought for a moment and ordered the servant. Just as the servant was about to leave, the Jiang Wang clan came out from the half-open door to give a blanket to her father. When she heard this, she was immediately unhappy and said to the servant, "Stop, you're not allowed to go. It's not easy for them to open a shop. If they say they won't do it, then they won't do it. Earning money is important, but their health is more important. They work so hard every day and have so many things to do. How can I bear to let them be more tired? Can't the cook at home do it?" As she spoke, the Jiang Wang clan's eyes suddenly reddened. Wang Ju was stunned. "What's wrong with my daughter?" You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.